This episode is brought to you by your locally owned and operated McDonald's restaurants. They have been proudly serving Jackson and the surrounding area for over 40 years. Thank you to all of the communities that have supported us throughout the years. We truly appreciate your business. Get in there and try one of those apple fritters, man, and the other baked goods. The mun's got it going on. The Chubby Bartenders is also brought to you by Geiger Brothers. Bringing value to the construction process is our main priority, the cornerstone of our reputation, and the mission of our business. A company-wide philosophy focused on collaboration and teamwork, delivering excellence to our clients' projects. With over 110 years of continuous service to Southern Ohio, Geiger Brothers embraces the challenges presented to us, and while steadfastly maintaining the core values that set us apart, commitment, knowledge, and innovation. Whether your project requires a design, build, or construction management delivery method, or simply requires Geiger Brothers to self-perform process piping, specialized code welding, heavy rigging, civil and structural work, or mechanical services, do not hesitate to call them at 740-286-0800. Geiger Brothers, ladies and gentlemen. Great guys. Chubby Bartender endorsed. This episode is also brought to you by Gillum Insurance, specializing in life, farm, auto, home, and commercial insurance. Give them a call at 740-395-0357 for a quote today. If you want to get treated right, save a little money, and make sure your stuff is covered properly, Gillum Insurance is Chubby Bartender endorsed. Hey guys, tonight's episode is brought to you by AP Prep. That is AP Prep in Chillicothe, Ohio. One of our good old buddies, Jason Prater, started this business a long time ago, man, and they earn every day at AP Prep. So if you're sitting around, maybe carrying a few extra pounds, much like myself and, being a chubby bartender, and you want to get your fat ass to work, get over there, get a hold of Jason Prater at AP Prep. Or maybe you're a young athlete that wants to be your best you. Earn the day at AP Prep.
My bad.
We're live. Hey, Colby Lykins.
Hey.
Round two.
Round two. As nobody else got to see round one. It was a hell of a conversation.
Yeah, lasted for 3 hours?
Yeah,
and it was a long time.
And we missed it, but it's all right. You're back, man. Glad to see you.
Speaking of back, Tyler's back. And
Tyler's back. Now the sound is going to be tight.
We will not lose the entire episode this time. That was totally my fault. I mean, but you can't see what's going on back there from here. I should have just got up. But well, welcome back, sir. Welcome back. So
I'm glad to be back.
You are a true bartender. We talk about being bartenders, but we're really not.
Yeah, we're phonies.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're pouring a beer, you're a bartender.
Yeah, yeah. We can pour beer. We're pretty proficient at that. So,
do you guys like to make cocktails?
Nah,
do you enjoy it?
I like a good drink. I wouldn't say that I enjoy making cocktails.
I guess I would say it like this: like if people are at my house or if we're at home, and I get the opportunity to make a drink that I know how to make, I love being a bartender. What I think would be horrific is being at a bar. Somebody comes up and says, "Give me an Alabama Slammer," or something like that, and I'm like, okay, what's in that?
Dude, that happens every day.
Yeah.
There's just something that someone had at a bar in Alabama, or
something,
something.
Do you know what this is? And
or there's like seven versions of the same drink.
Yeah. I don't enjoy. I've had to do that a little bit, and I just tell them go to the next.
My favorite's whenever they've been to a place directly like beside of where you're at. Or whatever, it might be, somewhere down the road or whatever, and they've had a drink there, and they expect you to be able to make that drink.
Yeah,
of course.
So the guy had this over at, this restaurant across the street, but
it's like, well, did you have one here? Yeah. Well, tell me what's in it. I'll give it a rip. But hey, guys, okay, let's take a little break from here right now. I'll tell you. Speaking of my home bars and the concoctions I like to make, it's the Christmas season, so. You can only buy this mixer seasonally.
Okay.
So let me throw one out for you guys here.
Okay.
it was affectionately dubbed the Chadwick.
Oh, is this what he used to make?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. This is a home concoction. Strictly used to make them on the road when I worked for the company before last. We stumbled upon it, a couple of the guys I worked with and me, and then they went ahead and did me the honors of naming it after me. I was honored, but you'll see it's very uncomplicated. But right now, you can go out and buy either Sprite or Sierra Mist cranberry.
Okay. Yeah.
It's out there around the Christmas season. They always have it out. I go with my, diabetes. I go with the diet version.
Okay.
But you mix that with some Tito's or Grey Goose or the vodka of your choice, and it is straight up delicious.
I believe
Nectar
that.
of the gods.
Do you garnish it with maybe an orange?
If you really wanted to get fancy, I think you could garnish that with just about anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. I don't know that I would squeeze the orange in it, but I'd maybe throw a lime on it.
Shove a grenadine.
Let me tell you what, a mint leaf.
Ooh, mint
during
leaf?
the Christmas
That sounds
season.
good. Yeah, that sounds really good.
Yeah, but you know what? I've never garnished it with anything, man.
You could
I just
almost make
throw
that
it in the
yourself
rocks.
if you did grenadine, cranberry juice, and lemon lime. The syrup,
Club soda.
They have like a lemon lime syrup behind the bar.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that I've ever put lemon lime. I mean, I don't bartend that much, but
Yeah,
I don't know what all those go in.
Well, grenadine is pretty sweet, but I don't know that it would give you that same flavor. I mean, this is purely artificial flavoring, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
the grenadine would sweeten it up a little bit.
Yeah, it would.
It would give it that
up and give
I
it a lot
would
of
maybe not
cherry.
be afraid to drop a little bit of grenadine in that drink.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
just splash that with grenadine.
Yeah. I mean,
You could just basically make a Christmas Shirley Temple.
That's
that
except
point,
you're putting
yeah.
except you're putting vodka in it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's it.
Yeah.
It's just this pre-flavored cranberry Sprite or Sierra Mist. It's guys, it's
what we should
delicious.
have
Now be
done?
careful, it's dangerous.
You know what we should have done tonight?
What's that?
We should have brought some eggnog.
Oh yeah, eggnog would have been great.
Well, and that's something I want to throw out to the chubbies out there. Give me your eggnog recipe.
Do you like eggnog?
I love it.
I love eggnog.
Now, have you ever had a Tom and Jerry?
Oh yeah.
And see,
Didn't we make those at the office one year?
Yes, and what I found is there are very different versions of that drink. It used to be, legend has it, that the Elks used to serve it all day on Christmas Eve, and maybe they still do. I don't know. But I know my father and grandfather used to really
Enjoy that.
get a little sideways on that. But I mean, the Tom and Jerry's that I've had is pretty much just bourbon and eggnog.
Yeah.
But I know that there's some other things that
I
go
feel
into that.
I feel like spiced rum and eggnog.
Well,
real good.
yeah, that's another version. A lot of people will just call an eggnog drink a Tom and Jerry, and it's kind of like it's taken one of those wide berths as far as
Where it all goes.
what it could be.
It's eggnog and whatever.
Eggnog and whatever the hell you like in it. And maybe I'm incorrect in calling it a Tom and Jerry. Eggnog and bourbon. Let's just say this. Can we all agree that eggnog is a great, it is a very spikeable drink?
Yes.
oh yeah,
I mean-
it's fantastic. I love eggnog.
I don't know about eggnog and vodka. That'd be a little rough.
I don't know, man. Vodka's pretty easy. It's an easy
according
mixer.
to the kind of vodka. I feel
Well, now
like.
gin, I'd say it would be out.
I would not
Yeah,
do that
yeah,
with
I'd say
gin.
that'd be out.
Fireball.
Cinnamon, that would be
that'd be interesting.
That'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
It'd be like a Cubano.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I bet that would lead a guy. I'd challenge if somebody drank 4 of those, they're puking.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No question.
and it's
I
going to be
mean,
a beautiful red.
Oh
I mean, that's
my!
just-
Oh my! Well, I'm going to tell you what. I bet that the eggnog.
It's gonna be a beautiful red.
I bet eggnog drinks have led to more vomiting. I mean, seasonal drinks are rough anyway, right? But like eggnog, if you actually go down and you go and get down on some eggnog mixed with whatever.
I mean, isn't that the core reason why Grandma got ran over by a reindeer?
Yeah.
I
think
believe
so.
that's what
Yeah,
it said. Yeah,
yeah.
it's about the spiked eggnog.
Yeah.
But man, I'll tell you what. If you were going into
I thought
it,
she was doing Santa.
well,
I
she
think that's a
probably
different
was.
song.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a different country song.
Yeah.
That's a different.
Well, I like
country
that song too. But I think the thing is, you got to have your eyes open going in, man. Like eggnog, that just screams, be careful. You know, hey, maybe hit pause on that fourth glass.
Oh, yeah.
Really think that over. You know.
How about you guys? Christmas Eve has just usually typically turned into a mess. I'm going to try to eliminate that this year, you know, since it's COVID. But man, typically Christmas Eve, probably my number 2 drinking day of the year.
Well, see, now I'll tell you what, I have never.
Usually bad.
Well, since I've been married and had the little ones, I've not really gone out on Christmas Eve anymore.
I don't need to.
Me either.
Yeah.
The problem is like the home gatherings.
Yeah.
Get a little stiff.
And
it's always kind of unintentional. You go into it with the best of intentions.
You do. It's going to be a great day.
And then you're like, oh, my God, I got to put these toys together or whatever. I mean, you know.
I've usually done that drunk.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. My wife's a trooper. All she asks of me is to just stay awake.
Yeah.
You know, so I can sit there. And that's where it normally gets really off the tracks for me. Because I'm watching her, like, you know, put some things together and do some different things. I mean, because she's also the type. Now, don't think that I'm lazy. Because she's also the type that there's only one way of doing things, and it's kind of the way that she has in her mind. And
that's it.
And I get it. That's cool. I mean, I don't really care to interject. So, I mean, as I sit there, though, watching her, and sometimes my sister will come over and help, and I'll just sit there while they're wrapping and doing stuff. And I mean, what I had already maybe gone a little bit sideways before I got back with my in-laws and everybody and my family. And then we get home and we're watching this escapade. Heck, sometimes it goes till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Man, you wake up on Christmas morning.
Oh, there was one year I stayed up till like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning putting together stuff. And I mean, then, you know, your kid's up at like 5 o'clock.
Oh, they're ready.
I mean, they are ready to go.
I was awful like that as a kid. I just wanted to get up as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wait a minute, you know. The big thing right now is the elf. You don't.
I worked in the schools for a little while.
Yeah, so, the elf, the elf on the shelf thing.
Yeah,
so
man, that guy's a sneak.
Oh, yeah. He has to get creative. He forces creativity.
I mean, the thing that's kind of cool is everybody remembers when they were a kid. Like, I know myself, like, I would start trying to wake my parents up probably, 4 a.m.?
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't slept a wink.
Yeah.
And they're always like, go back to bed. You know, we're not getting up till 8. And then they would generally cave by about 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. and now I now I find myself doing the same thing.
Do you?
I mean, yeah.
My boy's an early bird, man.
Oh, yeah, mine are. Heck, my son does that to me every day.
Yeah, 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
He is ready to go. So what's been going on, man? I know we talked the last time, you know. Oddly enough, I couldn't really tell you a lot of stuff we talked about last time. It just went so well.
Yeah.
So we'll do it again. So I remember this. You're from Beaver,
yes,
Ohio, and you've been in Jackson how many years now, Colby?
5 years, I'd say.
5 years.
Okay.
Huh. And you've recently switched careers, but you were a bartender, you know, and so that was something that I know you are Chad's go-to guy. You know, Chad always talks about.
If I needed a bartender, man.
Yeah, Chad was all over Colby.
If I ever needed a real bartender.
Yeah, you wanted Colby.
Oh, he's my guy.
I've heard him talk about you multiple times on the show.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he has ruined my wife's taste in margaritas. I used to be able to make a margarita that she found acceptable until this guy started making them. So, you know, I mean, there comes a time when you just lay down your shield.
I appreciate that, Chad.
Yeah. I mean, there are a few guys, you know, like I'll tell you what, man, two go-tos here, and I hate to mention names on the show. Definitely Colby and Jeff.
Oh, Jeff, you like old Jeff?
Oh, Jeff James.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jeff.
if I had to, like, find somebody, like if I was having a very important event and the bar was crucial, I would have to have those two guys behind the bar.
Well, I've had events and I've already asked them both.
Yeah.
So, you know. Yeah. I have very important events. I've already tried to pull that off.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm with it.
You've already, look here, it's already fell. Actually.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Well, I knocked it
You
off
made it
there
so
with the
long
lighter.
that last
Oh
time.
yeah.
Yeah, I normally will take a picture of it. That's now those ones you guys are smoking. Those are built to.
This better than the last one you had?
I like this one. I
Yeah.
liked the last one too. I just didn't have a clue, but I still don't really know what I'm
Well,
doing.
this one is a lot more manageable.
Yeah.
You know, or
I like the feel of it.
there's something about those skinny ones. I don't know why. Like, I know when I first started smoking cigars, I wanted like the biggest, fattest cigar I could find.
Yeah.
But now, like, it's kind of like, well, boy, those
That's
are
got
just,
a nice little taste.
yeah,
Slow burn.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. I'm a big fan. The Flathead CAO Flathead 642 Piston.
Yes.
That's what you're enjoying.
But you've done a little bit of everything, brother. You've traveled the country playing music. You know, we talked about that the last time. You know, you've been in the school systems working. Now you're getting into the restoration, or what is it? What's it called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's like restoration, something else. So kind of give us the journey, man.
Yeah, we got to go one at a time. I mean, and we can start with. We'll let you lay that out. We're going to talk music first. We're going to talk
because you're
Where do you
making
guys wanna
music. I like the music topic.
Yeah.
Well, you grew up in. We'll talk about this, but you kind of grew up playing music in church.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so
sure.
and now you're doing more of what did we talk about the last time? What did you classify the style as? Like indie?
Currently, what I'm doing is really like it's country, but it's like psychedelic country. So
I love it.
That's,
Yeah.
that's in that realm.
I'll tell you what, man. Let's start at the beginning. Let's talk musical journey first, okay, and then we'll dovetail off of that. But
Okay.
let's talk about how did you start? You know, at what point in your life did you say, "Hey, man, music is really meaningful to me"?
I would say that I always had it as something that I was doing in some form or another. I was probably 19 whenever I was like, this is what I want to do, and there's nothing else that I want. There's no backup plan. There's
Did
really
you start like playing the guitar at a young age?
Yeah,
or any
like
piano
14.
or what instruments do you play?
Are you like Prince? Do you play like 87 instruments?
I wish I could play them. I probably could.
I play the
touch
guitar,
them
the
and make
piano, and the
sounds.
tuba. Yeah.
So I started on piano. I think I was 6th grade or something like that. I wanted to play an instrument. My mom and father decided to get a piano and wanted to get me into lessons. I got the piano. I started learning. Lessons didn't come soon enough for this impatient boy. So
Okay.
I immediately was just bored. I was really, really, really bored.
Bored at the piano?
Yeah, I just wasn't getting what I wanted out of it, and what I
can't
wanted
pick it
was
up.
to
I've
play in a
tried.
band. Really, that was what I wanted to be in front of people doing something.
Yeah.
And was the piano? Are you saying like it was just for you? It just wasn't the right
It
instrument.
was just bad timing, really. I think I was just too young to really know what I was wanting. And then I think the next year, the next school year or so, I started really wanting to play guitar. Some of my friends were playing. There were some bands that were like in junior high and the early grades into high school that I knew were kind of happening, and I wanted to be a part of it in some way or another. So I started playing. I started telling my parents I wanted to get a guitar, and I'm like 14. There's really no way if your parents are like, "Hey, you didn't play that piano, we're not going to get you something."
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get what you want to do. And I had like this acoustic, maybe like half size harmony from like when I was 5 or something.
Yeah.
And I would just sit around and play on that all the time, trying
A harmony guitar?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's old school right
Are
there.
you familiar?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This time, I was surprised you still got fingertips left.
Oh yeah. It was rough. And
Yeah,
by the
rough.
end of its days, I think, man, that guitar was sitting like this.
Oh, I'm sure,
just
Pretty sturdy. Is that what
terrible.
you're saying?
No,
The strings
it
and
was
all that?
falling in on
okay.
itself.
Yeah, they were a pretty nice guitar back
Yeah.
in like the 40s and 50s,
Good brand.
60s. What were they? Catalog guitars?
I'm not sure.
I think the Harmony brand was like a catalog guitar, something you would. And I'm sure there was some stores that had them, but I think you could order that off like Sears.
Yeah.
That
And it
makes
was like a top of one of their top of the line guitars
Yeah, yeah.
that you would do, and then they just kind of got mass produced, I think. But, so that's what you started on, was the Harmony.
Yeah. So then I was like, okay.
So now, are you teaching yourself doing this, or?
Well, so I'm just teaching myself at the house, trying to play on this crappy little guitar, not getting anywhere. Like we're talking like we've achieved the riff of Smoke on the Water. That's where we're at. So then my teacher in school was like, hey, they have a berry patch, and I was like, hey, could I work on your berry patch this summer? So I did just enough to make enough money to buy basically the cheapest electric guitar.
So all you in electric
that I could find, and that was what I was like. I'm just gonna get this one, and then it's gonna be perfect. And
it's all you ever need.
Such a bad guitar, but I bought it myself, and I was excited. It came with an amp, and it was like $100. So that should tell
combo
you
deal
what quality I was working
I bought one of
with.
them. I think everybody does that.
Awesome,
I think everybody does that.
So just started on that, and I immediately was like, all right, so I'm gonna start a band. found some guys.
I've got my $100 guitar and the amp here. We're good.
I still know the riff of Smoke on the Water.
Oh yeah.
So I got these guys, and I'm like, all right, so I'm more concerned with putting the band together, doing all this stuff than I am with learning the instrument. So I
You're
think that's
selling
just
merch. Hell with that F chord.
Hey, look at this logo.
Yeah.
Well, you're running when you're in like junior high doing anything like that.
Yeah, sure.
I just remember I had like 14 different like little notebooks just full of like, oh, here's a T-shirt, here's my custom made guitar I'm gonna get whenever I have $1 million. You just think like that basically.
Yeah.
So then we show up for practice for the first day, and I started to. I was like, okay. They were like, you guys gonna tune up? And I'm like, I don't know how to tune this guitar at all. They're like, here's a tuner. Just tune it to E. So I tune every one of the strings to E.
So you didn't have any idea what you were doing.
No, man, and I'm just in a band. And everyone else up to this, I've organized this band, and they probably look at me and they're like, oh, Lord,
we're in bad
what
trouble.
did we get ourselves into?
What is going on?
Yeah.
But it turned out to be a pretty good little group. I learned a lot real quick.
Yeah. How long were all you guys together then?
Just that school year.
Just that school year.
Yeah, and it was a learning experience.
Did you learn how to tune a guitar?
That day.
There you go.
Yeah. Had to.
I've talked about getting Gibson started, my son, and I don't know how to start him because I think that's kind of one of those journeys. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's one of those journeys you kind of got to take on your own.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it sounds to me like the guitar, from what I've heard from both of you, that
He's
is
better
not an instrument that you can just pick up and immediately take off. Like, it takes a lot of work.
For me, it did. I can't speak on anybody else.
And
it never came natural to me.
Well, like,
it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
If you
Still
don't
is.
have an extreme passion for that, I think that would be a very difficult road to like. And I guess what I'm saying is, like, if I go home and say to one of my kids, hey man, I want you to play the guitar, and I buy them a nice guitar, and hey, I'm going to take you to Pudge or Colby to give you lessons. We're going to do all this. And, man, if they don't want to do it,
You're wasting your time.
I mean, that's going to be tough.
I probably picked it up. I probably picked it up 4 or 5 times in hopes to learn how to play before I ever did, and it was a timing thing.
That's what you said. You had to be like by yourself with nothing to do.
Yeah,
And
like
then-
in high school, I tried to learn, and I just couldn't get it done. Now, did you learn from you probably had YouTube and stuff?
Yeah,
didn't you?
I did.
Yeah,
it was
which
nice. But
that
mostly
was
learned just from watching other people.
but you also
But I had YouTube.
But you probably didn't have YouTube at your fingertips, though.
No,
yeah,
not at all.
Not
It was
not
you're
like you
going
d-
home to the desktop.
Yeah,
Sitting around. Your parents are wanting to use this computer.
Yeah,
Luckily
if they're on
we
the
had two,
phone.
so it was nice. But
yeah.
So let's get into this. We had a deep dive into this last time, and I'm still curious about it. So all right, Colby, you've picked up guitar. You're not like trying to read music and learn how to play it. You're essentially, and Pudge, you said the same thing. You're watching somebody play and saying, all right, that what they're doing with their hands makes that sound.
yeah, and then making
No,
sense
I
of
didn't.
it for me.
I didn't have that.
Could you
Because I didn't
hear
have
the sound
I
they
had
were
to hear it
making?
because he had video with YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was doing it off of
Tabs
a CD.
and-
Now they had tabs. I wish I knew how to read tabs, but they did have they'd tell you a chord chart.
Yeah.
That was starting to get hot whenever I started playing. So that,
But there
I mean,
weren't that many songs available.
No,
even when I
not like-
first started
not
playing.
yet.
And
not
did you
like
use that? Like,
oh hell yeah!
Because
if you could find a printer and a computer, see, I didn't have a computer.
well, and wouldn't that okay? So you learn a couple songs like by tabbing it or whatever. Does that help you then with other songs?
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
then like could you pick it up with your ears?
yeah, then
Like
then,
okay,
yeah.
you knew what was happening with the guitar by what you were hearing.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I guess, but
And then after that,
older
it
you
just
get, the
after
better it
okay.
gets,
So
I
so
think,
then
yeah.
like so then after that, it just becomes, hey man, I'm playing every day or I'm playing all the time, and you just become proficient?
Oh yeah, the more you play, I mean, the better you're going to be by far, and the more people you play with. I mean, man, I suck. Like, I'm not a good guitar player at all.
I feel the same way about myself.
Yeah, it's I mean, there's guys around here just sitting around doing nothing that'll burn me up on a guitar. Like, you learn something with that all the time. I mean, you never quit learning at any of these.
See, I would disagree with both of you. I mean, I've seen you guys.
Yeah, I'm very bad, really. I mean, if you looked at my real style, like if I'd go sit down with, I like bluegrassy stuff,
Yeah.
and or like honky tonk licks and stuff,
Yeah, sure,
and like it's hard for me to play that stuff just because of my style. I'm such a beater. I mean, I beat a guitar.
I do
death.
too. I break so many strings, it's unreal.
I used to use just my hands and my fingers, and some guys can do that. I can't, but I've never really played electric. It's hard. It's really hard for me now, like super hard for me to grab an electric and not. I mean, you'll beat them to where they just don't sound good.
Yeah,
they're
so
anyway.
small compared.
Yeah,
to,
and I mean,
what do you play, like a Dreadnought? I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, full bodied. I play a Gibson. Now I'm playing a Gibson J15.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And dude, it's there again. We was talking about this earlier. Spend the money.
Yeah. If you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Now you started off, man. You were a big Taylor guy.
I went from a Yamaha FG 160, which I still have, and then I had a bunch of guitars after that. None of them I kept. And then I got into Taylors. I really like the Taylor guitars. Walt and Hummingbird down here, and then Mark's got them now too. But he's selling out of them. What he's got, he's going to sell out of. But unless you bought the high end model, they didn't hold up very well. I didn't think. Now the Gibson gets better every time you play it. Where the Taylor, you could kind of went downhill after that. Now if you get the high end model, you're good. But I never did. But
what do you go with, Colby?
I have an Epiphone. It's I think
made by Gibson.
EJ. It's a jumbo. I can't think of the exact model off the top of my head. Okay. I love it.
335 or 300.
Yeah, I think that's
something
like
that.
it's 335.
Be like a Chuck Berry guitar.
Okay. So electric.
Mm-hmm. It's an acoustic electric. Oh, okay. So
you looked at that Taylor acoustic electric
one
time.
T5.
I went with you that time. Remember?
It's an Elvis guitar.
You just about bought that.
I just about did.
Yeah.
I couldn't play it because it was played like an electric or acoustic. I couldn't play it.
Is it that different to play?
Two different instruments, in my opinion.
See, it's even weird for me to play like a Dreadnought. Going from the size that I play, it's a huge guitar. My girlfriend was trying to learn guitar, and I had to buy her a different guitar because mine's just so big.
Yeah.
In comparison to her, she's just this little tiny thing.
You got to hold your body different. You're doing everything different.
So like that night though, when you played up there in the Cross Keys, you grabbed that electric guitar from that gentleman, didn't you?
Well, I'm not saying I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't.
I found a fault in your story. I saw you playing that electric guitar,
and I'll call it out.
Hey, Chad's fact checking you here.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say I couldn't. I just said I wasn't. I'm not very good.
Well, he's being a little bit too humble, folks.
Just
a little too humble.
You know me. Just the humble prick you ever met.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he had God damn it, if you had some confidence.
See what he does me.
Yeah,
so, what type of music are you playing back in whenever you open up this band in junior high? Are you like Sum 41? Or
you had 5 people all wanting to play different stuff. We had, or 4 people, whatever we had.
That's every band.
You had one dude wanting to play Def Leppard. You had one guy wanting to play Ozzy Osbourne. I just wanted to play Pantera riffs pretty much, and I couldn't physically play them.
Yeah.
And then our drummer, I don't remember. I think he wanted to do like 3/8 Grace or something like that.
Yeah.
So we were all
just everywhere.
just a bunch
So
of
did
boys
you guys land
not
on
knowing
like
what they're
ska
doing.
punk or something, or what?
No, we just broke up. But, that's what happens. I think you get to a point where you're like, I remember there was this, oh my God, this is a good one. There's this one practice. I'm like 15 years old. This might be the most dramatic thing that I've ever experienced with music. This guy comes in. We've been playing drums. I've known him since first grade or so. So I've known him forever. We're probably freshmen in high school. And he says, I'd like to play drums in your band. So we start working him in. Everything's going really well. And about 2 weeks in, he just says, hey, guys, I want to have a talk. And I'm like, okay, what's up? He's like, I think we should change over to being we're at this point some kind of a like light metal band, I would say.
Yeah.
He's like, I think we should change over to being a country band. I should sing and play rhythm guitar. I'm like, bro, we just hired you to be the drummer.
It's always the drummer, man.
Yeah.
It's
well, we
always
didn't
the
hire him,
drummer.
of course.
Yeah,
but you know, it's like,
yeah.
come on, man. So I
Yeah.
just took. I remember I took my guitar. I had this Epiphone Les Paul. It was like the brightest red you could ever find, and I just slung it. I don't even know what I threw it at or what I hit, but I threw it. I think it hit my guitar case, luckily, and just kicked my amp over and was like, I don't know what in the world this guy's doing, but it just. Then the next
You were devastated,
dude. I just thought it was the end of the
Man,
world.
I'll tell you, I think that being in a band,
It's horrible.
I mean, I look at this from I was never in a band. I mean, my God, the life skills you learn by being in a band. I mean,
learned how to
you
fire people very
like
quickly.
you guys like learn to be like HR directors. If you're running a band,
It'll take fun out of it, I think. I mean, I had
Real quick.
is that right?
Well,
Like, is it easier to be a solo act? Honestly,
I thought so, but yeah, it's got its own struggles.
There's fun that comes.
There's fun. Yeah, I had a blast playing with the band. I had a great time in the band. It was just the band, like the actual, like the being of the band was what was tough.
practicing, just making everything work out together. It's 5 minds instead of 1.
Well, whenever you have your instruments in your hand is the best times of the band. Whenever you don't have the instruments in your hand, you've always got somebody.
You get a couple hours a week with instruments in your hand.
Yeah. And the rest of the time it's
politics.
Well, you're just dealing with human relationships, right?
Yeah.
At that point.
I've always admired those bands that stayed together. You know, like even the local guys. You know.
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, I've always admired it because that would be tough.
Now, is it possible to go through one of these band breakups and still be friends?
Yes.
Yeah,
Or does it get pretty physical
I
for a
can't say I'm
while?
not friends with anybody, but-
I mean, but I imagine for a few months it's probably a little
I'd say
a little
for
chilly.
me it's almost impossible at first.
Oh, really?
Only because I'm almost always the person who has to fire the people. Or
okay.
if it's that, and if not, they're usually leaving because it's like some huge life-altering change.
Yeah.
And then that life-altering change kind of just cuts off the tie there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's not
yeah.
like we're not on good terms, but usually
Yeah.
not like hanging out every week like we were.
Right.
And it takes a while to kind of get back to that point because it's like that your entire relationship was formed on, like, playing guitar together. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
someone is like, well, now I'm just going to see you when we go to B-dubs. And it's like, well, I go to B-dubs like 3 times a year. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
Yeah.
I play music in my free time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to get for me to
Sure,
make the
sure.
time to see those people because I don't get to see my friends as much as I would like to because I'm always working on
Man,
projects. And things
Shane
like
Runyon and I had that talk not too long ago. Like everybody, whenever you play music, you kind of lose your friends to an. There's not you don't lose your friends. Me and Chad, we stayed friends.
Yeah.
But there was a period of time where we didn't see each other.
On the weekends, dude. I mean,
I was playing
yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah.
And that goes on.
And
on and
even
on.
like if I came to watch you play,
It's not
I
like
don't
we're
really
talking.
I don't get to see you.
You get a high and a vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah, I never took a break whenever I played, so I never got a chance to go around and talk to anybody or anything. And after that goes on a while, then what happens is people quit calling.
Yeah.
Like they just kind of, and it's nobody, it's not like it's a bad thing, but they just kind of, my buddies, they just kind of quit. Well, we figure he's playing music somewhere.
See, and I think that you've got to have a real passion for it to
make it
to
worth
drive
it,
through that.
really,
yeah, yeah.
because otherwise
yeah.
you start
so
to kind of...
so back to that. Let's go through the evolution. So you started off. You fired this drummer in your third band.
Every band I've been in.
It's always the
It's
drummer.
not. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's never anything personal. It's just I'm a person who usually wants to stay with a project.
Yeah, and are you one that you come up with the project or the vision, and you're very dedicated to
I like
that
to
vision?
be on. I've tried to join bands. I think I've tried to join 3 bands that were kind of doing something, and it was
Right.
really, really good opportunities. But it just, since I wasn't there for the conception of it,
never
it just
works
never
hardly,
felt
does
right.
it? Never. Yeah, I did. I've done that one time.
I just felt excluded no matter what.
And it wasn't your quote unquote, it wasn't your art to start it, so you just didn't have the same feeling coming in.
Yeah,
Like-
and often it was people. I get asked probably a few times a week to join new projects and stuff, and I try to take on as many as I possibly can because I would like to. how many of them are realistic for me to actually be able to take on, or just based on how much interest I'm getting back from the people that I'm working with. But usually if it's something that's already established, I try not to mess with it, because I just don't feel like I'm the kind of person who, you show me your song and I've got a million ideas for it, but in the back of my head, all the ones that would make it the perfect song are going to be in my head already. It's an ego thing that you have to fight, I think, and you have to say, okay, let's step back just a little bit.
Well, I mean, at least you're willing to admit it. Like, hey, man, it's like purely an ego
For
thing.
sure, dude. I've just written for so long that, like, when we talked about this the last time, but, when I'm listening to something on the radio, I'm guessing the next line. I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do. And if I'm right, I'm like, cool, then they did what I feel is right.
Right,
but
right.
if I'm not, I usually get disappointed with the artist.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's like they missed this whole spot. They could have done this.
This is what I'd have done. I'm real bad to do that with Shane. He'll send me a new cut, and I'll be like, man, I'd throw a harmonica at the end, like, and he's like, yeah, no, I just don't see that punch yet.
And it's cool whenever people are also, I'll give people ideas, and they'll be like, dude, what are you thinking? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, yeah, my bad. And then they'll do what they had, and it's perfect. And then there's sometimes whenever I'm in a project, and I'll be like, all right, what if we do? I know this is really stupid, because I'm always so self-conscious about it. I'm like, I know this is really stupid, and I'm going to try this really quick. Just hit record, and I'm just going to do something. And then just, do whatever it is. Usually like new lyrics or a melody over something. And then a lot of the times it's not stupid. It's what needed
works.
to happen in the song. And so that's always a cool feeling. A lot of some of the times it's not, and it's just like,
well, I mean, like, songwriting has got to be like a little bit of a disease. I mean, like, how much time
I haven't
do
caught
you
it
spend?
yet.
Okay. Well, like, how much time do you spend songwriting?
anymore, not as much. I'd say I only write a few every week, maybe one or two.
A few every week.
If I'm approaching it. Now,
right.
could I pop songs out every day? Yeah, but for what I'm trying to do, no. Because
are you doing a lot of shows right now?
No,
or
nothing.
Nobody's doing a lot of shows right now. But like,
how you come up with the melody?
What is it?
How you work out?
It usually just comes to me, and then
Do you
from
do
there,
do you
the words.
so some songwriters, they'll write off of melody, and some people put the melody with the song. Which one do you do?
I usually, normally something will come to me. I'll be like, all right, a phrase with a melody. Sometimes it's just bullshit, but sometimes there's something to it.
Yeah.
Or you'll know if it's a ballady song, or you'll know
it'll
if
give
it's
you the feel right
it's
off
a
the
punch
bat.
right
You'll have the
off
vibe when you,
yeah.
And you can kind of just freestyle out in your head, kind of where it would go, or at least part of
then
something.
you'll put together a progression.
Yeah.
Based off that.
Yep. Usually, whatever key I'm hearing in my head is the key that's going to come out on the guitar.
The Eagles, they wrote all their tunes off the melody. So like Joe Walsh would sit over in the corner, he would burn something up, or Don Felder, or even, I mean, those guys were all monsters.
Oh yeah,
all of them
my
across
God.
the board. Yeah,
Don
across the board.
Henley, I mean,
Yeah.
my God, yeah.
Glenn Fry.
Yeah.
I mean, all those all of them are just craftsmen.
Well,
of
I
what they
mean,
do.
look at how all of them did it
Solo.
on a solo
Yeah.
coming out of that
Yeah.
group. I mean, yeah.
So they would write the majority of theirs just off that documentary I watched. You watch that?
No.
They wrote everything off the melody. They would try to come up with like a driving lick, that they'd do something like that, and then the live in the and then they would write the song, off the lick,
So they would start with the melody.
or a lick.
Okay.
I think it's just like you gotta have something that makes you want to hear more.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the times it's just something unique that comes to your head. Maybe you've heard it before. A lot of times
It's even like on this podcast, you your sound has to be. I always call it the listenability. I tell Chad and Tyler,
I
I'm
totally
like,
agree.
your volumes, the way that your ear brings that in is a very important thing. So it can be done with either a lyric, it can be done with a lick, it can be done with a beat, it can be done with anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I mean, here's the curious thing, and I'll pose this to both of you. When you're performing, okay. Colby, you write a lot of your own material. Okay, do you do cover tunes as well when you're performing, and how do you balance that? Like, is that a good thing, bad thing? Like,
the type of show you're playing.
Okay,
I've played shows where it's all original. I've played shows where it's all covers.
Yeah,
I've played mixes of both.
Just depends on the audience then, or where you're playing, or
The show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I tell you last time how we had Craig Campbell, big country guy, and he had 2 songwriters with him, and it was funny because I tell you about this, Chad, about the show.
Yeah.
About how he about it. The songwriters came into Park's Edge, and they thought that this, in their mind, they're coming into town. This was the first time I'd ever seen a show it was a great show, don't get me wrong, everything was great about it, but it was just a 2 different ideas of what happened. I've never seen this before, because this was the first time I'd really been to not the first time I'd been, but the first time I had like a songwriter thing. Well, that's typically a pretty intimate affair. Mm-hmm. That's one of those things where, like if you talk at the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville, you're out.
Oh yeah, they'll throw your ass.
They'll throw you out.
Yeah, listen to the words.
Yeah, you're there to listen to songwriting. Well, these the Southern High crowd, they're there for the party.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the musicians were like, shh. And they were telling people to shush, and some people kind of got offended by that. But the musicians thought that it was a songwriters' night, and the crowd thought it was a party night, and it was like,
yeah.
But I think in that situation, you got to do whatever your crowd wants.
You got to read the room.
Yeah.
You have, in my opinion, I tell anyone who performs, whether you're, a public speaker, whether you are on a podcast, whatever you're doing, you have a short amount of time on stage. I always say the first 30 seconds of your first song.
Yeah.
If you don't make eye contact with that crowd and win them, and they're not listening to you, then it is an uphill battle from there.
Are you just blatantly staring at people your first 30 seconds?
It's corny if you're in a metal band, you start looking angry.
What would you call this psychedelic country? Well, give me an example of that.
Honestly, it's a little all over the place.
What's your instrumentation like in that?
So right now we're actually going in. We're gonna go in today and kind of move some things around so we could do this to start tracking for the first day.
Colby,
so
that's awesome, dude. Sorry about
Tuesday.
that, dude.
No, it's all good. It gives me some more time. It kind of was a little bit rushed for me.
Okay.
So it's all good. I'm ready for it, but I'm going into it with, hey, here's the song on the acoustic guitar. Mm-hmm. I know what instrumentation I want in this music, but it's not there yet.
Okay.
It's just not there yet. I want to lay it all out, see what's there. There's some songs that are a little more rocky. There's some songs that are a little bluegrassy. There's some songs that are kind of like weird, just plain weird.
Like, are we talking? Are we talking like Grateful Dead does country, or are we talking?
I wouldn't say that far in terms of like music, just because it's going to be songwriter based. So you're kind of. You're going to get to the point more than that, I would say.
Yeah, okay.
Not going to be radio.
It's not a jam band. Yeah. Not a jam band.
There will be some moments in the record when it's like that, but I'm not a musician in that way. Okay. I'm a writer and a performer.
So most writers are.
So I try to approach. I'm going to try to approach the record that way, using my strengths rather than trying to go towards the musicianship.
Well, I love, I told you guys, I 2 of my favorites, John Prine and Todd Snyder. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. I've seen them both in concert multiple times, and talking about that, like connecting with the thing, and what I've always got now given. By the time I was seeing them, people knew a lot of their songs, right? But both of them, one of the things they would do is be like, all right, now I gave you that one, you wanted to hear that one, I gave you that one, now I'm gonna play you a new one. And they've both done that many times, and I mean, it plays really well. Because, if you're a fan, you're like, well, let's hear it. And then you listen to their live albums, and hell, you hear beer bottles clanking in the background. But people are pretty quiet when they're doing it. Now the ones that everybody knows, they're singing along.
And they kind of cue you in those.
That's what I mean. And it's almost like they tell you, all right, now I'm going to play you one you don't know. So check it out. And, and it's kind of like you can feel the room kind of go, hey,
that's always great too when you can.
Let's check out the words of this thing.
Yeah. It's weird. I'm sure I noticed this behind the bar. It was weird it's weird for me sometimes to have in musicians because I'm paying attention to their show more than I'm just being in the room.
Yeah. Working Saturdays is always weird for me at my bar. Really? I just wanted to listen or critique or whatever it might be. Just
is it hard not to become a bit of a critic when you're playing? Yeah, like when you've played in front of people. I mean,
ask an electrician to walk into a room and tell me they don't look at every single plug, and just start talking crap on whoever put in whatever.
You're exactly right, man. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, You know?
Yeah, whatever you are, you're going to critique it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just think of us the last 3 or 4 months, man. We're listening to podcasts. We're like, man, that was garbage.
Yeah.
That was great. Or, yeah. And I mean, I would not profess that we know anything about it, but boy, do we get opinionated.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's the same way with music. I don't go watch a lot of music for that very reason.
Me either.
Now, I'll go watch, like, somebody that I want to go learn something from.
Like, do you guys find that it's maybe a little bit harder? Like, and I'm not talking about going to watch a guy that's like a star or
I don't like to go to concerts in general.
Any
anymore,
concert, no matter.
No,
okay.
realistically, I don't, and for a couple reasons. I don't like crowds. Right now, I guess I can use an excuse.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that.
Well, gee whiz, Colby, that's an unpopular take right now. Yeah.
but I really, I don't. I'm just not a big crowd person. I get around too many people, and I just want to leave wherever I'm at.
Now,
no
there's
matter.
musical experiences that I want to go experience, but I wouldn't say that I'm like a concert fan.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, musical experiences. I'd like see, look here, he about dropped it in his drink. He just I told you every time.
A little bit of it got in my drink.
Is it? See, that's
A little more charcoal.
It wouldn't have if you'd just went like this
Well,
right
this
before.
goddamn thing is old. It's dry.
Dried out. That's what it is.
Don Raphael.
Yeah.
Hey.
Moisten
F
it
you,
up.
Don. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the exact same way on that stuff. I don't like to go to them. So, but what else? What did you love about bartending?
Bartending.
Yeah, let's
People.
go.
Let's go. Just jump down to bartending.
We're gonna skip a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go bartending. How'd you get started in that, dude?
I the place I last worked, I tried to get hired on there for about a year or so. I really just wanted to work there. I just felt something good about the room. Just wanted to be a part of it.
That was seriously your first bartending gig.
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah, just wanted to do it.
Did you used to make a lot of drinks at parties or something, or
No.
Or are you just that quick
No,
of a learner?
I made some jungle juice for some stuff, but that stuff was more like, hey, I got
Harry
some
Buffalo,
poison over here.
yeah.
Who wants to die tonight? You know?
Yeah.
That's
we
about
took
it.
every dorm room and we threw it into one cooler, and we threw a bunch of fruit in it. It's
away we go.
delicious.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, I don't know. Well, that's amazing. First and foremost, that like what? So you only had 2 years experience, huh?
Yeah.
Holy
about 2
crap!
years.
Unreal.
It was a good time. It was a really good time.
I've
Met
told-
some great people.
I've told people bartending is by far probably one of the most, and it's in its element. You know, sometimes it's great. 4 or 5 people at the bar.
Oh yeah.
It's great.
Those got to be the best times.
Those are the best times.
When you're sitting there and honestly kind of doing what we do on this show.
Yeah.
You're just talking to people. You're
Getting the real.
you're
You're getting the real
interviewing
stuff.
them, you're talking to
But
them.
now
Man,
Saturday
that's
night
awesome.
at a concert, and I mean they're 5 deep around the bar. Hey, and everybody-
That's my shit. That's
Well,
what I love.
I
Getting
love
there.
doing that
like,
too.
You enjoy
That's-
that?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, it's a shit ton of work.
See, to me,
And
that,
it's a balancing point.
It is.
well, that's like I guess if you're a guy that enjoys testing yourself or whatever, like
Rhythm. I would say that's a rhythm.
well, if you know what you're doing, that's got to be like one of those things where you're doing that, and it's got to almost feel like, all right, dude, like I am in that runner's high mode or whatever. Like, hey, bring it on.
Yeah.
I mean, we are
You're in
flowing.
it. Yep.
And that's one of those things where 3 hours seems like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems it's also who you're working with. You're working with someone that you really got a good rhythm with, and it's like music,
Oh,
Or-
yeah.
Or really anything.
Also, it also counts like who you're surrounded
Oh,
with.
your process needs to be as smooth as it possibly can.
Because you don't want someone getting in your way behind the bar.
The worst thing you can do is keep bumping into each other, grabbing the same stuff. I mean, and everybody's kind of got it. It's almost like a job site. It is a job site, and
of course it
you'll
is.
build your bar, your end that you're going to work. You'll build that the way you want it, or
do people have like stations there or something?
they do at my place. It depends on the place.
Yeah, where we were, I feel like our bar was so small.
So you guys
you would
shared
have
the bottles and
stations,
stuff, yeah.
but you also just know how to move because there's only sections. You got
Yeah.
basically the front and the side, and that's it. And you have to know if someone's coming down the well, you need
Yeah.
to be getting out of there.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting out of there, you better know how to set up that. What I always like to do is if someone was coming down the back of the well, or coming down the back of the line, making a cocktail, and I'm already making a cocktail, and I know I'm going to be there for a minute. I'm while I'm shaking something, I'm grabbing the ingredients the other person needs.
Yeah.
Setting it there for them so that I can finish mine off.
You've heard
and you
that
have to
order.
pay attention to the entire room, because then you also don't know who might be trying to kick someone's ass. 3 seats down, you got to pay attention to that stuff. I mean, it doesn't matter how big your staff is. Really, there's something that's too big for it at all points in time. I feel like, and it's hard.
Man, right there before COVID, we were getting to the point where we had 2 bartenders at all times. On Fridays and Saturday nights, we had a bar back. And we had somebody going out and getting buckets and trash and cleaning up, bringing that all back just to keep you in dishware.
Bar back, define.
Bar back. Bar back's a great starter position, too. You learn a lot.
Okay.
Jeff kind of started off with you guys over there doing that, didn't he? Basically, in my world, in a tap room or something, it's a little bit different. I'd say it's more changing taps.
Yes.
Changing
kegs.
Constantly. But in my world, it was packing out cases of beer. We're slinging out Bud Light.
You're slinging,
you don't have the time to do that when you're trying to bartend.
Yeah, you can't bartend and go get 10 cases and refill your wells.
They're basically keeping your inventory where it needs to be and
keeping you loaded.
Yeah, anything you need.
Ice.
For me, it was glasses a lot.
Yeah,
bring me the glasses so I can get the dishes done so you can go on.
You guys have to do your own dishes too?
Oh, constant. My back, dude. Those things are designed for someone 4'5". I truly believe they are. And so I'm just like 6'2" and trying to bend over this stuff. And
we went to disposables for that very reason.
Yeah, we did that for so long, and we were just putting out 8 bags of trash every day.
Well, yeah.
It was like, how do you win? You can't win,
Right.
You cannot win.
And we weren't really set up to do the dishes either. We were, but not at that magnitude.
Not at that pace.
Dude, it's hard to keep up. It's probably always my biggest complaint as a bartender was just doing my dishes.
Yeah.
But that's like any job, cleaning up after yourself is never.
Well, you can imagine if everybody gets in. Think of the storage. Okay, so my place, before COVID, would do about 250. This is Stockroom, not Park's Edge.
Yeah.
So they would do about. We could put 250 in there pretty easy.
Oh yeah, easy.
Easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can imagine if everybody got a glass and then they brought it back up. Yeah. If everybody got 3 drinks. That's 750 glasses that you got to have somewhere that is taking up space.
Oh, absolutely.
That's why it depends.
And like the bar,
all bars are situational.
So like the position of bar back there would be maybe taking care of some of that dish work.
And they do, whenever but on a Saturday night, you're hustling, bussing, you're selling a case of beer as quick as you can bring it out.
And with me with COVID, it was like, all right, how quick can we flip this table? Because I have less tables than normal.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it really is. I mean, there's so many things in a bar. There's so many slices to this pie.
Well, on top of that, then you have people with different personalities. All coming in and with different opinions on everything.
Well, I mean, everything from the napkins to the salt and pepper to your cleaning supplies. I mean, it's all part of that business model. And there's just a huge. I mean, everything there has to count. And it's where in our world, and you'll probably see this. You've been at your new place now. What, 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
So you're probably seeing. You don't have as many areas to focus on, but you've got like less areas, just as much importance on those small. Like me, it's auto, home, farm, and life, and commercial. Those are my areas of insurance. Okay, I work on those. Right. Where in that world, it's every food product, every alcohol product, every dishware.
You have to have a conversation. Yeah. You have to be able to have a conversation with,
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole thing too. Yeah, like you've got to, in the bar world, like you've got to also be friendly.
Yeah.
Because every
no
guy
matter
that
how
comes
good
in there,
or bad your day is going.
And you don't know what kind of day those people have had. Maybe they're coming in there. Maybe they want to take it out on you. Yeah.
That happens as much. As anything.
Yeah. And here you are. You're just trying to do your job. If you're having a bad day, like. You can't really, like, you've kind of got to be nice, right?
You do.
I mean,
Well, how many times do you come home and you say, I tell you what, I'm going to go out tonight. This has been a shitty day. Okay? So you can imagine, I mean, I'd say about 7 out of 10 people that go out That's why they're going
Yeah,
out.
they're like, oh.
So
let's
the
decompress.
bartender's job is to kind of win that.
Yeah.
You're there to relieve that pressure.
It's like, man, that's a smiling face.
Yeah.
That's what I need to see right now.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody in the world is just like one bad day away from going insane.
Oh, yeah.
Every single person. It just takes
Especially
the
right now.
right, combination
Have you guys
of
seen the
things.
movie Falling Down? Oh, tremendous Michael Douglas flick. Recommended. Watch it. Dude just loses it. Takes a baseball bat to everybody and a gun. And
I think of that Killdozer.
Yeah,
You remember that Killdozer?
Yeah, yes.
So this dude just takes a
What kind of
baseball.
dark shit are these boys watching?
Just don't get us mad here, Pudge.
Yeah, I'm watching Last Man Standing in Alaska. These guys are out there watching these hitman shows. Dark stuff.
For me, if it doesn't have some form of action, we'll say baseball bats or however you want to look at it. If it doesn't have some action and some reason for that action, I'm just not interested.
You're just not interested. I love it, man.
Not for entertainment.
So let's not joke around. Colby is kind of a savage when it comes to. All right,
scared me.
But now look, I want to get into this. I also think it's important that we get into.
You don't have anywhere to put that because all that dirty ass.
That's it. Well, see though,
He's almost got a coaster.
The thing is,
He's almost built
is
himself up a coaster.
is that
man.
it bothers you, but it makes me feel very comfortable.
If you notice, I'm all the time moving wires.
Oh, I know.
Just-
See, for me, I like the more chaos I can get going over here, probably the more comfortable I am.
I realized during one of these shows, I think I have a mental disorder. I never sit still.
Hey,
Well, and he's with the wrong guy, man. Because like all this shit gets him all fired up. Like for me, I'm just kind of like, man, this is great.
I even texted you guys the other day. I said, guys, I think I've got a disorder. I said, I never sit still.
Yeah. Hey, that's all right, man. Being fidgety is cool. I mean,
I need a fidget spinner.
I keep things with me because of that. We'll be watching something on Netflix, and a lot of times we'll just watch it on our phones because it's just easier, we're too lazy to walk over to the TV.
I'm almost too lazy to look up and watch the television. This has become...
I refused to buy a remote because it didn't come with the TV. My uncle gave me a TV. It didn't come with a remote, so I just refused to ever get one.
So it never turns on.
Right. So most of the time, if I'm watching something, it's on my phone or whatever, and I'm just the whole time I'm pressing the volume up, the volume down. Yeah. I'm hitting the screen. It skips ahead 30 seconds. My girlfriend's like, "Are you kidding?" Like, we'll find out stuff we're not supposed to find out yet. And I'm going backward.
Well, then I mean, I'll be honest. I'm very impatient with shows like I mean, man, the commercials come on or something, or like they're trying to hang suspense, or they're throwing teasers out there, and I'm like, damn.
Do you still have cable?
Oh yeah.
What
What was funny is they clipped our cable line about a week ago accidentally. I still haven't got it fixed.
And you don't care?
You still getting charged for it? That's the real question.
Well, no. We're working on that. I think this is going to be a very good opportunity. I feel like it was a sign
That you could do without it.
Yeah. You know, the
haven't
kids
missed
have
mine
been
yet.
watching old cartoons, and I have missed football. Now, if Ohio State Michigan was this week, I would have. There would have been.
You know what you would have done? You would have went somewhere that was having it.
You're
and then
right.
you would have done
You're
that.
right. And I think that we're probably just gonna.
I've been 10 years without cable. I think 10 years. Yeah.
I've been 2 months, and it's
All right, man.
great. Already?
Yeah.
Man,
Hey, that's not bad.
We're going to have to start.
Drink a lot of water. Today.
About an hour in. It ain't
Hour
bad.
in. I was going to say, we're going to have to start an over and under on when it's going to be. The hour.
Yeah, I think I took 3 or 4 breaks last time. But that's because Chad was feeding me beer before
That's
we
what,
came
you guys
online.
threw down a six
Today
pack.
I said, I'm not drinking until we start this.
I'm on the coffee again tonight.
Yeah.
I'm on the wagon.
What kind of coffee you drink? How you like
This
it?
is just black. I actually did put a little bit of creamer in this, but this is decaf. I was stopped at the truck stop and got me some decaf coffee on the way here. I've been trying not to drink as much coffee, but I do like my coffee, so I switched to decaf after about 3 or 4 o'clock.
Oh man, coffee's good. I just don't drink it anymore.
Why not?
It just gets a hold of my stomach, and I don't like
Yeah,
that.
but you need to drink a good coffee.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Have you had any that I gave you?
I just drank some of it yesterday.
It's smoother, isn't
Smooth.
it? Yeah.
No souring at all.
Roast, Berserker, and that Black Rifle are the 3 best I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, they're smooth. Like, does it make you sour? give you a sour stomach.
Yeah.
A good coffee. If you're drinking like a Folgers or something.
Oh man, I'll just drink whatever. So that's probably
what it is. I didn't realize that either, man. And then I switched over. I started buying some better coffee. And Trent, who was on here with Roast, he kind of showed me a little bit about coffee. I started drinking his stuff. His real smooth. I got some from Blanton's whiskey, and I didn't care for it. It was pretty mild. It was pretty rough. I didn't care much for it. But he taught me all about Chad likes to do these pour overs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like you. I was like, hey, what can I make a pot of the quickest?
Yeah,
you know?
Sure.
Chad and that Nate Steinbrook, they were talking about it's another step in the process.
Well, now I moved away from it. I went out and bought that
Mr.
coffee
Mr.
maker.
Coffee.
And I don't know why I went away from it.
Well, you can still grind your beans.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went out and bought a grinder and everything after Trent was on the show. And, then later I went out and bought that Mr. Coffee, and I'm kind of like, wow, why did I ever go away from this?
Yeah.
This is beautiful. You can set the timer. When I wake up in the morning, I've already got a pot.
It's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ready. All you got to do is drink it.
And it tastes pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe they haven't made like a Keurig thing that makes a pot. Or maybe they have.
It'll come out. I don't think they
I
have
haven't
yet.
seen it.
Something that you just slide the thing in, just, and then there it is.
Big old
Speaking
cup
of
in
which,
Yeah. Oh, look, Gary's got the Stadley.
Yeah.
What'd you bring
Gotta
tonight?
say, I think this is
Soup.
no, it's coffee.
Chicken noodle.
This is Folgers.
Is it?
I dabbled in what you gave me the other day. Man, that's good coffee.
That's good coffee. Yeah.
Black Rifle.
Yeah. Yeah, they're tough.
That's very good.
Where's Black Rifle from?
I don't know.
Somewhere
Look at
that
the
makes
steam
good coffee.
coming off of that. Now, you don't have to take that green thing fully off.
I know you.
Yeah.
Don't.
You don't want to let that heat escape.
No.
And have you dabbled into preheating it yet?
No, I haven't needed to.
Oh, no, you don't need to. No. Have you got it good and seasoned yet to where it smells like
Oh,
coffee?
yeah.
That's
it
great.
stinks. You take the top of it off. You don't want dabbling washing it too much.
I had a complaint today on my Yeti.
What happened?
Well, so I was out there, I was foraging this morning.
Yeah.
And, it's got that hole in the top, and man, riding a horse, you're just bouncing out, spilling out stuff all over the place. It just wasn't handy.
It doesn't have
I used to
enclosure.
keep something like that whenever I worked in the schools, and I'd always get it all over myself. But luckily, I wore black clothes, so no one knew. But
Yeah.
it burns you, whether or not anyone sees it, it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts.
There's no, and they make closable coffee cups. That's not the thing.
I'm surprised that doesn't have a sliding.
Yeah, not on that. Not on that. That's an old one though. Well, that's not a Yeti. That's an Ozark.
The Yeti I take on the Jeep trips has a nice little closable.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's that. I've had this one for probably.
I've
7 or
not
8
drank
years.
a lot of coffee in that one, but
Oh, I'm like Uncle Sidebud. I got one cup for everything.
there you go. Okay, well, now, all right, Colby. Let's. He just brought up. You worked in the schools. You taught American Sign Language.
I just interpreted it.
Okay, well, but that's obviously. I guess what I want to get at. You're a pretty introspective, deep guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how you're taking me. So I'll go with it.
So what I want to get down to is, let's talk a little bit about what makes you the guy that you are. How do you keep yourself balanced? I know now you're kind of studying Buddhism.
Ooh, you threw it out the way he says it.
I'm not gonna miss this time.
Oh,
I figure that must be the correct.
Well,
I don't think it matters.
Buddhism.
I don't think it matters.
Okay, well, I would like to get into that a little bit. If you could talk about your evolution, as
we talked about this a lot.
yeah, and I think this is a really good topic in the fact that it's not like you just all of a sudden said Buddhism. You have.
Well, actually, technically, I did start out. I didn't tell you guys this the last time, but I was like talking to my girlfriend. I was like, "Hey, you just want to?" Randomly, we'll be like, "Hey, you just want to learn all the presidents in order?" And so we did that for a while, and then it was like, one day I was like,
"Can you recite it?"
Well, just pick a number. We'll see if we can get it right. I haven't done this in weeks. So.
Hold on. Let me.
Oh, okay.
Tyler's
Yeah,
gonna
this
rank.
is a Tyler
It's been
question.
a minute.
So
It's been like
how does this apply to the religion? What
so.
about this?
There, I was just one day was like,
He's
hey,
just saying, hey, every now and then they go on a journey.
yeah, we'll just try.
And
just
the journey was
learn new
let's
information.
let's learn the presidents in order. You know?
So and then we wanted to do. I was trying to get her to. I think she's got it, and I basically got it. But who you got for me?
18th president.
Oh, that's easy. Ulysses S. Grant.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He's got it right.
That's
easy.
an easy
34th.
34. That would have been. Give me just a second. Oh, well, I can hear 18th president over there. 34. Give me just 1 second.
What kind of
This
Rain
has been-
Man?
we-
are
Did
you?
you
They're
know
here-
that Ulysses S. Grant did not want to be president?
I didn't.
Really?
Oh, terrible suffering alcoholic.
Was it?
I've read about that a little bit on it.
Really had no interest in doing that, but it felt like it was sold to him that, hey, look, dude,
Well, he was a
your
big
country,
military
yeah,
man.
your country needs you.
Civil War,
this,
what
yeah,
Mexican American War too, I think. So
Like, hey, you're going to do it, dude. And he was like,
see, I think you got me on 34 because here 3 weeks ago they were at the bar and they were like, "All right, name every president." And I was like, "All right, here, I got you. 34 would have been right before JFK, I believe. I may be wrong here. So that would have been what do you have? 32 would have been FDR, and then his vice president. Who was that? I've hardly got anybody for you today. I think that would be. I can picture him. Dwight Eisenhower. Is that who 34 is?
That is correct.
That's what I
Bad
thought.
boy. Look, he nailed it.
But-
He's the Rain Man. He's the Rain Man of the
That is correct.
presidency.
He acted like he didn't know it. Yeah, I believe it.
He took us on a small
How am
journey.
I supposed to make $15 otherwise? You know? All right, everyone's put money on it. No, I'm just
Well,
kidding.
hey, I would not be willing to come close in that.
But that was just kind of how we came on it. I was like, I kind of want to learn about Buddhism because I'd studied Islam a little bit whenever
Well,
I
that's
was
what
like,
I mean. Like
18 or so.
I guess that's what I'd like for you to get into. Give me your evolution as far as the different. You've studied many different religions, so I think that you have a unique understanding for perhaps other people and their beliefs or anything like that, and then as well as how you would say that how you took that in and what you got out of it.
So with Buddhism, I think I just learned to be a little quieter. I would say that would be the thing.
Sounds like I need a little Buddhism.
And I'm still working
I'm sorry.
on it.
I will stop interrupting right now.
No, you're fine. And just focusing. That was my biggest thing. Was I struggled with focusing on one or two things at a point in time. I'd just try to spread myself so thin. Oh, you want to do this acting project? Yeah. You want to do this this band that I'm starting? Yeah, sure. You want to work this job and then help me do this? And then I'm always like, I'll be like, oh, if you ever need help moving anything, you call me. And then people call me. It's like, oh man, I got to do this, and this. How do I manage all this? And for a long time, I just didn't because I would just take on so many things and then overwhelm myself. I have to take like 2 or 3 months off from doing anything just because of bipolar depression, just having a lot of issues with that. And so for me, the best thing was just slow it down a little bit, focus a little bit more, be a little more patient, not just with everybody else, but with yourself. Don't expect so many things all at once, because I think that's the hardest part, is just setting a lot of high expectations for yourself in
So if I understand, like, you weren't really looking at this like, this is a religion that I'm going to adopt. I mean, this is something that I think you took as like, I'm going to take a piece of this.
Well, I think if everybody out there has a truth in some form or another, and everybody's getting some kind of good feeling from it, and they're feeling closer to God or whatever you want to look at that as, then I want to figure out what they're getting from it, and how can I apply that to my own life.
Right, because you were probably you were raised, I'm going to assume, in like a Judeo-Christian environment.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are certainly things that we can take from that.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude. A lot.
And then, and the like, have you found, like, with the different studies or journeys that you've taken with different religions, that you have found some sort of commonality? Or
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
There's definitely something that is driving everybody, whether you're an atheist or you're the most devout Muslim out there, or whatever your religion is or isn't. I think there's just something that has happened in your life that has pushed you to that point. Whether that is, someone handed you a book and you fell in love with it, or someone handed you a book and you felt like you had to listen to it.
Uh-huh.
I think it's just all down to the individual.
So would you say that religion is important in an individual's life?
I'd say it's as important as you want it to be. Okay. And I know I'm giving you these half-ass answers.
Look at this guy. Now, when are you running for office?
I think I got to shave this beard and, sit up a little straighter if I want to do that. But it is what it is.
I haven't got real deep into religion. I'm not real skilled or versed on the topic. I can't say that.
Me either,
I've been in church a lot.
But you've lived.
Yeah, I've lived.
I told you guys, I think the last time on the show that failed, the most probably enlightening experience that I've had was when I was in college. I had a religion class where essentially, it was essentially studying the Bible as a textbook, not like hey, we're having a Bible study here. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was looking at it from a purely objective level, no subjectivity. And I would say that was probably the most enlightening religious experience I had at the age of 19 years old.
Yeah.
But very very educational. Mm-hmm. And kind of opens your mind to a lot of different understandings. And, hey, man, I'm not the guy that understands what's going to happen here, there, anywhere. I always subscribe to the Iris Dement philosophy. Let's let the mystery be.
Yeah. I agree. I mean,
if you've never heard that song, download it.
I have not heard that song.
Iris Dement, Let the Mystery Be.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah, just like today, I went foraging, hunting the mushrooms, and
that's a religion.
And not that that's
but you talk about religious experience. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is true relaxation, correct?
I think so. I mean, and my dad always says that. I mean, he always says.
I saw those pictures today, dude.
Yeah,
you and your dad in the woods on horses.
Yeah, I mean,
just being out in the woods in general and just being a part of nature, right? Whether you're a kid, just playing in a creek or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's just a part of that.
Well, think about too some of your best memories. My wife's calling me. Think of some of your best memories. Odds are you were outside. I mean, it's just there's just something free about being in the woods. I talked about it with Mahoney. He was the last guest we had on here. My dad's always said, he talks to God out there on Sunday mornings, or not just Sundays.
Any day
he's out there.
Yeah, sure.
My thing is just quiet enough. It kind of forces you to.
Sure.
It's just you and God out there, or however you want to look at it.
Well, yeah. You get into your own brain. You get into, whatever higher being you appreciate, and I think that's the perfect place to do it. I mean, you're out there in nature, man.
Well, It's all magical because it's not something you know anything about. You can observe it, but as we are so far away from being one with nature that when we go out to be a part of it, it feels good because it's instinctual. That's where we come from.
Yeah. It we talked about it with Jeff some too. The non-denominational, like I think it was you talked about with last time that we lost. It's hard not to put whenever they put that business aspect behind the church. It's hard for me to. I'm not saying I don't buy in, but it's harder for me to buy in. It's situational. It's just situational.
It's a tough topic.
It is a tough topic, and
the church as a business is it's a tough topic.
It is. And you see your big retail churches, so to speak, what I mean? And they have a lot of activities and there's a lot of good things happen. And I think
they give a lot
back.
They
give a lot back and there's always an open door for you, and it's very comforting, and it's very easy. It's very process. Not hating on it. It's very process oriented. It works for us right now. It's working for us. I've always kind of admired, just the old boy that, might have been laying up underneath a car on Monday through Friday or out running a bulldozer or something, and then on Sunday, he had him some old building out in the middle of nowhere. They'd bring out some flat tops and play some good gospel hymns and talk about the good book and try to live a good, clean life and go. I always thought, well, that seems pretty cool too.
Yeah, that's what, well, I mean, that's to some extent that's what it's all about, right? I mean, and I think that can be said for damn near any church you want to bring up. I mean, like the way I look at it, if people are going there to get in a good place and better their own humanity, you do you. Man. I mean, go.
Yeah. And I think and it's taken me almost, I'm 40, and I mean, it's taken me that long to understand that church isn't necessarily about answering to anybody but yourself by the lifestyle that you live.
And I think where people get a little caught up is when, I sit here across the table from you and say, well, Pudge, my church is better than yours.
Yeah.
Or
do those conversations happen?
Colby, well, I mean, I don't know. I assume that they do because
you've probably been in those.
They do.
Well, I mean, my goodness, I think that's where we are right now.
And it's not
everybody
even,
does that.
It's oftentimes you're wrong, I'm right.
Yeah,
and
why is everybody like that?
Yeah, like everybody likes to argue about
how do you even have a conversation?
Who's going to heaven and who's not?
But how does that affect you or me?
Well, I don't know.
That's the thing. I don't have to live with it.
No, that's kind of the way I'm with you, man. Yeah, and hey, if that is meaningful to you and your family, and you've established a good way of life, and it has balanced you, I think that's great.
Great, you can't beat that. That's for sure.
I mean,
and I will say this, and I don't know why I don't do it. Right now, it's different. The church is just a place that we're just, opting just to tune in on Facebook on Sunday morning, just because everything's going on. And it's real easy to sit there in my pajamas drinking my coffee and, hey, guys, give us a thumbs up.
Honestly, it's kind of like, well, why haven't we done this for years?
The accessibility is
more
great.
It's more like the church that maybe I could kind of get behind. I like this.
Plus, it's easier to go in. I mean, people don't know who you are or what your story is. You're not going in judged. You're just able to watch.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I don't think
you're peeking through the windows, kind of.
Well,
in a good way.
In a good way, but I've never really felt that anybody was judging. Maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe that's what they do.
I mean, some are, just some like anywhere else.
Sure. But I will say, man, usually after church on Sunday, I don't know what it is. I always feel better.
Yeah,
I always do.
Well,
there's just something.
I guess
about
that's kind of the point that I'm trying to get at. Like I think that the church a lot is what you bring out of it.
I mean,
we've heard this in life, in anything that we do. It's like, hey, what you put into it is what you get out of it. Man, could that be more meaningful when it comes to religion or church?
It's always been like the more we were involved with the church, the better things were. It was a very give and take. Well, I can, on my end, some people probably have a different story, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that it serves as a very balancing factor, and I don't know that there's a right church or a wrong church, or I maybe it's a downfall of mine. I don't know that I've ever had like that strong objection to, like, if you would tell me where you go to church, I'm not immediately like,
yeah, I don't do that.
That's where he goes to church.
Yeah.
Dude. Hey, I'm like, hey man, that's great.
Where'd you eat at afterwards?
That's awesome. Yeah.
That's my next question.
Did you guys go eat, or did you have a pot of chili on like I did and watch the Bengals game afterwards?
Have a beer.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I just think that. I think it's great when there's an importance in it,
but there's also you can go to a wrong church.
I'm certain that you probably can. If it's wrong for you, it's.
I went to a church that whenever I was 7, I loved it, but it wouldn't be right for me now.
Well, I think if you're walking out of a church and you're shaking your head and feeling guilty or something like that, let me tell you something, bro.
Shocked.
Yeah, well, you know what?
I'm usually just under my breath going, "That's not right." Like, and nothing's right or wrong.
But you're back to critiquing that.
Yeah, I do. I'm back there going.
But don't you agree? Yeah, But don't you agree though? Then, like, for you, that would be a bad experience. That's not what you're really going there to do. For
me personally, I just grew up reading the Bible, deeply reading the Bible, loving the Bible, and so then watching other people talk about it. since I could read 5, 6 on.
Yeah.
And I mean,
since I could read at 2 years old, Colby.
Yeah.
The president at that time was.
Whenever I taught me father how to read.
Yeah.
We started off in the book of James.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I just started learning so much about it that I would listen to other people and they would interpret it, and that was fine. But sometimes it was just I could tell there was propaganda behind what they were it would align with political views that were going on at that point in time or whatever. And for me, I'd just immediately check out. I'd be like, all right, this guy's just using what he's saying for this. And I didn't hate on the book. I didn't hate on the people, but I was like, you are manipulating this information to fit your narrative.
Yeah.
And that was whenever I started checking out with a lot of churches. But
isn't that what religion's there to do, though?
It is.
To manipulate the narrative?
It is. I mean,
that's a bad way of saying it, but aren't you there to use it for when you can? I mean, I always looked at the Bible like an arsenal.
Just like what we're talking about.
Or not an arsenal,
hey, look.
Shield, I guess.
I mean, what you're talking about the commercialization and that kind of stuff. I mean, hell, it's run like a business, and business is good.
Yeah.
And I, like I said, my thing is I don't take any offense to that. That's fine, because I know that there are people drawing big time comfort. It's changing their lives, and they're into it. And I'm 100% respectful of that.
For sure.
Like the one thing that I will say about me, I'm kind of an asshole, but when it comes to people's religion or whatever,
you're open.
I'm in, dude. I mean, I don't.
You grew up in church? You didn't? I think we asked you that the last time, didn't we? No, you weren't here.
I wasn't here the last time.
Yeah.
I was on a hiatus.
I mean,
that's where we were for 2 hours. This conversation was
it stuck too long, didn't it?
In my head, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
but I don't care. We're being honest.
And my thing is
hateful.
I guess that, I mean, is it bad to say that I don't care where you go to church? I'm glad you're going. I mean, because I guess that's where I live.
If you're getting fulfillment from it in some way or another.
If you're gaining comfort, peace, if it's making you a better person, and you're not, you have no desire to come and grab me by the face and tell me what I need to be doing, then I'm all good.
Dude. Yeah. Hey, and there's people. I can't ever say I've had a bad experience with somebody that religious takes.
Me either, man. I mean,
nobody's ever tried to drive it down my throat. I mean, they're pretty.
Well, they try. I mean, my thing is always just like, well, hey, dude, I'm as religious as you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm big religious.
See, I was in a position one time. I had a person of authority, I'll say, come to me, and previously had a person of authority within. I can't give out too much information.
Oh yeah. Let's
but
keep it generic,
beat me up.
Shit.
In a throw me up against the wall and start punching me when I was a teenager, trying to get me, manipulating me to do something because I was good at it, and it was a sport. But that's all I'm going to say. And then later on, had another person of authority within that same realm, and the other person wasn't even a person of authority within that sport. So I don't know where they were coming, why they cared so much to do that. But I had another person of authority come to me and try to manipulate my religious views to try to get me to do it because religiously I should be doing it. And so they used the story of the talents, and they told me that you shouldn't waste your talent, which I agree. If you have a talent for something, you shouldn't waste it. However, the talents that they're referencing in the Bible are a currency. And because that was the currency at the time, has nothing to do with a born ability or anything like that. And so I broke it down for the guy, and we never spoke since. I mean, we spoke afterwards, but it was never pleasant afterwards. Because I was like, dude, I'm 15. This is your job, and I'm schooling you on it right now. And I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but if you're going to come at me like that, know your information before you come at me.
Don't come a wondering.
Yeah. Come knowing. Yeah. Or don't come at all. Yeah.
He's on my Facebook friends.
That's
gonna be fun.
He
won't listen to this, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I doubt he's interested in the Chubby Bartenders by that
His
story.
name's
but
Brad Munn. No, I'm
oh yeah.
Brad Munn beat me up.
Yeah. I can totally see that.
I've only known Brad for a couple of years. That guy's fantastic.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Yeah.
Meanest guy.
Well, he
Scott
probably
Massey and Brad Munn. It was both of those guys.
Yeah, there was the two of them teaming up on him and like.
Massey's
beating
used to
him up
having a
and-
team.
and I bet that Munn like beat him up and force fed him an apple fritter.
That's what he did with us. He brought us whiskey and fritters.
Gotta love that guy.
No, man. I mean, look. The thing is, I think sometimes people get too wound up about religious views.
It's any kind of view. It's an opinion. It's this is right and you're wrong, dude. You are so wrong. I'm so right. Don't even talk. I don't want to hear anything else. I got my blinders on.
Yeah, I will not hear
it.
it. Like they're like la 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 la. Yeah,
Man, I think it's Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook's a damn devil, man. It is the devil.
I love Facebook.
I only have Facebook because I play music. If I didn't play music or
you'd still have it.
I don't think so. I hate it. I absolutely hate
Oh,
it.
come on, man.
Dude, I had to delete a whole bunch of friends recently because I had too many because I just added every person I ever met at Walmart. You know?
Did you delete me?
Chad, that's just I haven't seen you on. I deleted my Facebook.
Yeah. Something happened, man. My kid went through that. Yeah. Something happened. Well, I noticed too, like on social media stuff. I went through here not too long ago and cleaned mine all out, and I thought, man, I'm following this person on like 4 other things. I don't, what they show on Facebook, I really don't care. I like their Instagram, but their Facebook sucks, so I'm just not going to follow them anymore. I'll follow them on Instagram or something. But
yeah. See, I think everybody's kind of moving past Facebook and going to Instagram, and I'm
I've
trying
always
to
said the real nation of Facebook was our parents.
The bad part is Facebook owns both of them.
Yeah,
I know.
So they still got you, whether or not you think they do. They still got you.
But like a guy like me, like, man, I love Facebook. And Facebook is my platform, man. That's where I'm throwing my juice out there, man. And people are leaving.
All your best stuff is on there.
Oh man, my real good stuff is there. And I mean, Instagram, I'm just not paying as much attention, and I'm gonna have to make the flip.
Go to YouTube; it'll be there forever.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go.
Hey,
Yeah.
while you're there, subscribe to the Chubby Bartenders.
subscribe.
Oh yes. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
But
I subscribed.
Yeah. Well,
I'm cool
I just
now. I wasn't
miss.
before,
I
but I am
miss
now.
the. The Facebook stuff. Occasionally, small town stuff. You do get into some good stuff. You get to see what's going on
The
and
marketplace.
The thing I like
the
about
money is.
Facebook is like a lot of the friends from college and stuff that I don't see. I get to see pictures of their kids and stuff. Like, I'm in it apparently for the wrong reason.
No, the right reason.
No,
joked
that's the
about
right
that.
reasons to be
Yeah,
on Facebook.
I know, but
That's
like,
what it was designed
yeah,
for.
like I don't like getting on there throwing out hot takes. Now, last night I guess
Share your prayer.
I probably threw out like the hottest take I've ever thrown out on Facebook last night.
Ooh, did you? Did I miss that?
The Time Magazine take.
Ooh, yeah.
No,
I
I didn't feel
haven't
like
seen
that
it
was
yet.
really divisive.
You commented on a large thread.
Yes.
I saw it.
Yeah, you texted me.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
It's like,
I
hey,
kind
man.
of felt like it was Pudge like checking me up. Like, hey, listen. You sure?
You just jumped in the deep end.
We're doing this? We're doing. All right, I guess we're doing it. We're doing
Jumped
this.
in the deep end on that one.
One of those times when your buddy's like trying to start a fight and you're like, man, I'm
Well,
doing this.
listen,
I got his
listen,
back.
man.
We're doing this.
I always stay on Facebook and everything. I stay completely apolitical, and I felt like this is aligned with being apolitical. I was there was a post about the Time Magazine selection for Man of the Year.
It was all of my Facebook friends, I think, 'cause they posted the pictures of it.
The nurse.
Yeah, with the nurse and all that. And you know what? I'm in agreement with that. Like my take is like, how in the hell could you place any politician of either side as the person of the year in 2020? I mean, I don't care whether you're
I'm gonna
right,
give it to Mike
left.
DeWine's interpreter. She
Well,
has really held up her muscles.
You know what?
This year.
If
she has done her job,
if
damn
she
it.
would have done that, if it would have been her, nothing said from this guy.
Yeah.
But like my whole take was just like, man, you know what, man? All that tells me And I mean, this is in a small corner of the world on a post. I was just kind of like, you know what? Yeah, I agree. That's a good take. And my take is it just shows how out of touch Time Magazine is with the American human element.
Yeah.
I mean, to the fact that you're going to throw a politician up in this year as the man of the year. I don't care who it was. I don't care if it was Donald Trump. I don't care if it was Joe Biden. I don't care. I don't want to see a politician as the man or human of the year or whatever. I just thought that was pathetic.
The difference is you should want to see them as the person of the year.
Apparently.
But neither one of them were capable of being that.
I agree with
you. A lot of people.
You're right. I guess there's probably a scenario where that could have played out.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it did.
I've always thought in the political stuff, not to get political, I thought, my God, especially this last time, I thought, you mean we couldn't find anybody better than these two goofs?
It's the last every election. I mean, really, it's just whose families has got some money, and then how long they've been doing it. Once you're like 75 years old, it's like, hey, you guys
now it's
have
your turn.
seen me.
Yeah, now it's your turn. Yeah.
I know you guys have seen my face for the last 40 years. I haven't done shit for you, but vote me in as your president. Every single one of them. Every one of them.
For these politicians, and then I'm going to stop. But for them to act
keep going
like they have any control over this virus or that it has anything to do with them, I find to be the height of arrogance and completely unhealthy and just absurd. And I'm so tired of them politicizing this pandemic.
It's been so divisive. Divisive.
Hey, listen, man. Besides the point of any political affiliation, this virus, dude, it doesn't care whether you're a Republican or Democrat. It doesn't care whether you're black, white, Asian. It does not care.
Yep.
And to think that this year has been about anything other than that,
and fighting that,
and fighting that,
yeah.
I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, look, these guys like to take credit for small wins when it comes to that. And look, I realize they're the leaders, and that's great. But look, they got nothing to. They're not doctors. They're not
this
nurses.
goes back to you talking about Time Magazine. It goes back to they are built for a certain party. Okay, the Liberal Party.
Oh yeah.
That's who their readers are. So that's what tells me, this is another sign of biased opinions.
Oh yeah.
And they're gonna put light on things. The reason I text Chad the other day, I was in Time Magazine here about 3 years ago. Me and Nathan Kitts up a road,
and didn't realize why you were.
No,
being
this guy
interviewed.
came in, and I think Fraser brought him in, and he interviewed. And there was some event up there. I don't know what it was. Can't remember, but it was a political type of event, and there we knew that there was going to be a writer for the Time Magazine in there. So at the end of the night, Fraser brings him over and he talks to all of us, and I was just talking about, just basically telling a story of and it got somewhat political, I guess. It was whenever Trump ran the first time, okay, and I just mentioned in there about a personal change that I had seen with the healthcare and health insurance, which I sell, or did. At that time, I sold a lot of health insurance. I don't sell much of it anymore, but I got hate mail. So Nathan, like there was people that literally wrote us letters, separate letters. They would find us. I don't know how they'd find us or whatever, but they'd send you letters, and they would always give. I mean, I'm talking like pagers, bud. And I was like, wow, this is just over being in an article. Mention your name and your company in an article, and bam, there it is. So,
well, I mean, that's
and that told me that they were just biased. Their readers are one way, and
right.
that was. I mean, I haven't even. I mean, I've looked at it just so I could say, yeah, I was in Time, but.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, that's great. Time Magazine. I mean, my God, that's a staple. Of news on
Lazarus used to be a big retailer
on the planet
too.
Earth, yeah, and it's like, man,
now Amazon killed it.
And I guess that's my disappointment. I mean, my thing was like, okay, Time Magazine, I grew up with you.
Yeah.
Even subscribed to it.
We just separated.
Yeah. Even subscribed to it for a period of years. And,
Did you? You were a reader.
I was.
Avid reader.
Yeah. And my thing was like, not right or left. Mm-hmm. It really wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought, wow, how poorly played.
Yeah.
I mean,
we were talking about the man. Not to change the subject, but we were talking about the man of the year. That kind of caused your this pandemic caused your career switch.
Oh, big time. That's entirely
it. Yeah. And it wasn't.
I would say I missed out on thousands and thousands of dollars this year.
Yeah, well, who could not?
I had a job. Thank the Lord. I can't take that from my former place of work, but and the people that supported that place.
They wanted you to make money,
but that's who was supporting it. You know, it wasn't the government or the non-government or any political side or another.
And that's where
people.
That's where my take came from. I wasn't trying to lean right or left. My thing was, man, I could name a minimum of 20 different professions
that they should have looked at before the presidency.
Oh my God!
Well,
before you look at any politician,
right?
I mean, like, you know, you talk about business owners, small business
who struggled and made it through this, and are still struggling and still making it through, and the ones who didn't.
This is a train derailment. Make no mistake about it.
And you talk about parents who have had to educate their kids at home.
Teachers.
You talk about teachers. You talk about
your wife.
His wife. Yeah, I mean, you talk about doctors. Nurses.
They put my girlfriend at my house for a long time, just me and her. You know how terrible that. No, I'm just. Hey, I love her. I'm just kidding.
You talk about medical sales guys like myself. I mean, what a noble profession.
Imagine how.
I mean, you know, look, man, it's changed everybody's deal. Pudge, you felt it as a business owner on 2 levels. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know how much it affected.
3, actually.
Yeah, like 3. I don't know how much it affected the insurance business. I don't know. You'd have to tell me that.
Positively.
Oh, it wasn't worse than.
But I'm a landlord.
Yeah. Oh my.
Lost
Lord. A lot of money.
Yeah, I've lost 2 renters for that. Now in the insurance business, I essentially lost 2 CSRs, customer service reps. Yeah. Because of child care.
Oh yeah.
Bar business. I mean, you know. I mean.
Well, I guess that's what I was getting at. Like, I just thought it was such a miss. And I mean, I probably don't feel as strongly about it as. I mean, I'm not necessarily convicted, but I just, like, I saw that post and I was like, hey, you know, Jamie, that's a great post.
Yeah.
And I felt like I'm just gonna.
I say best. I said, "What got you fired up?"
Yeah, Well, it's very rare that I'll post on something like that. Yeah. But like with that, I was just like, yeah, man, that is 100% on point, and I'm just gonna throw out my opinion.
What's your opinion on what should happen with the bar and restaurants right now? I
honestly wish that everything would just shut down.
Me too.
I don't know how. I don't have a plan for that.
Yeah,
it's also not my job.
I don't either.
You know what my plan would be? I don't have a plan for it either, but I would love to make a phone call.
As a bar, I mean, as a bar owner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah.
Or like, you know, but
you run in a bar.
Yeah. All right. This is interesting. You're saying you would
shut her
say
down.
Okay.
And here's what I would do, if I was DeWine. Or if I was, any governor,
a politician.
Yeah, any politician. I would say, here's a date that we are going. This is the time period that's going to be. Okay, possibly do it by region or something in that way, because what happened, I think, the last time,
like depending on
our region wasn't hit in the beginning.
Like, are you talking about regionally as far as like infection rate,
or it could be, or it doesn't even have to be infection rate. It could just be break it down into 4 quadrants of the state. Okay. Just from what I know, maybe I'm sure I don't know anything about this, but in my mind, if I'm seeing the perfect or the outline of, not the perfect, but if I'm seeing the outline how that would go based off what I saw it go the last time, I would say, okay, because right now, you're keeping the lights on, but what I've really seen, especially this go round right here, is I've seen the money kind of go away as far as the gross receivables inside that place of business. So I've seen your customer base is staying home now, where before, like, they were, and not saying that they're not supporting.
People every 2 weeks, someone's out. I mean, you got people out.
You're constantly fighting the battle of.
Can't wait to rejoin this one.
You're constantly fighting the battle of employees.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
With the disease or with the infection or disease or whatever, flu, whatever you want to say, COVID-19. You're constantly fighting PPE, and cleaning right now.
Oh yeah.
You're now.
Which I mean, and how do you even know what is truly? I mean, what's up to what people suggest. You know what you're doing. How do you know what you're doing is even 100% right?
Sure.
Or effective?
Well, I think your traceable numbers kind of tell you that.
Yeah, for sure.
So right now we haven't had any, which is good. But I would say, okay, here's the dates of this zone that we're going to shut down. So, give them time and say we're going to open up the phone lines or open up the online, and you're going to they need to get some portal out there that walks these people through this a little bit smoother than calling the local, job and family services, because those people cannot handle that magnitude of phone calls whenever you do. So you need to ease into that. Yeah. You need to. This is just my opinion.
I mean, the people in the unemployment office are just overwhelmed.
They're
going home dealing with this till midnight. Going to sleep, waking up at 6 o'clock and dealing with it again.
They're no different than a nurse or a doctor at this point. They're having to handle just this massive influx of phone calls.
And people who are desperate.
So you're telling me, okay, let's take my business in the insurance world. Okay, so Progressive, American National, we're all very online friendly. Why the state of Ohio cannot get on board with getting to where these people can get online and apply for their, and maybe they can. All I know is the last time this happened, it seemed like you saw a lot of people, well, I've been trying to get through and I can't get nothing done, and it seems like all their portals are not very smooth. You should be able to do that from your phone.
Should be easy.
It should be very easy. They've got all your information anyway. If they don't, that's their fault. Yeah. It's out there. So that they need to make that process smoother and give them a certain date and lay out the timeline right now. Say, okay, so we're going to take January of 2021 at this week, at this day, at this time, and we're going to shut this thing down. Yeah. So right now, if you are in this business, you've got X amount of weeks to get in the system.
Yeah. So I think you have a limited amount of time before people just really, and I don't want to put it this way, before people just start killing themselves.
I do too, yeah.
Because I spoke.
I think there's been some of that.
There has been, for sure. There's definitely got to be a spike in that stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a woman that I called last week to do an inspection with, and she had called with the intention of doing one. And then when I called her, she was like, well, I'm 74 years old. I've not been out since February. I just don't really think having people in my house right now is a good idea. And I agree with her.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing. She may have a real big issue going on at her home that needs taken care of. And we just keep putting it on hold by not just closing things down and just getting to the point.
75-year-old man real close to me, I won't mention any names right now. He got some bad news at the doctor, and he's trying to get into the doctor to get it taken care of. This is non-COVID related, but cannot get into the doctor right now because of COVID. And it's like, guys, we've got to shut everything down. Let's everybody. And whenever I say everything, I mean you need to be literally everything. Yeah. And I mean everything needs to go either online.
And this is coming from a guy that has
lots of things,
interest
in lots of things.
Initially, was this what you guys thought? Whenever February or March came, was that what you were thinking, or is now? Because I wasn't. In March, I was like, why are we shutting down? I didn't know enough about what was going on. Of course, I studied and I learned some. But now I see 100%. That is.
I mean, one thing I'll say. I mean, Pudge and I we did a lot of live shows during that time, and unless I misinterpreted you, I think you were behind the shutdown. Like you didn't really have a choice.
I didn't have a choice.
I mean,
it got to a point though, whenever you were seeing like 6 new cases this week.
Yeah. That was frustrating.
Yeah. That was like,
it was frustrating.
For real, man. We got 6 new now we're popping out 50, 60 a day here.
Oh, I know.
And it's a little
and it's a family member. Once a week you're finding out someone down the road just
right before I came here. I saw 5 people on Facebook say, "Hey, just let everybody know I tested positive."
Yeah, well, see, and that's where I'm getting to the point where it's like, okay, dude, we didn't shut down. back when all this was going on, or no, I mean we did shut down. Okay, but now it's kind of like, well, in our area, like now's when we need the shutdown.
Yeah, you shut us down back before you really needed to. And then we incurred a huge loss at that point.
Yeah, and then we kind of pressured the politicians to kind of be
come
like,
back. And,
hey, because I understand their job. Oh man, see, I made a mess.
You're
now.
Good. Hey, you're learning well. Dude.
I've smoked
fine.
2 cigars.
Yeah.
Clean as a whistle over here, Tyler.
Well, man, it's a difference in the way you smoke. And
I'm just
Colby,
gonna
nice job.
No,
No, go right ahead. It's a nice job.
Do you need a paper towel?
Don't let him hurt you.
You get me one, I'll clean it up.
Yeah, don't let him bother you. That just means you were getting a good burn. You know. But no, I mean, do you guys think that there's any credence to the fact of like it's like, okay, man, we were shut down in March, April, May. We had not near the volume of cases as what we have here locally, and shit, really throughout Ohio.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would hate to be the governor. Right
I mean,
now.
well, I mean,
I've
said that. I've said that from the beginning. I would not want one of those
or any
seats.
position of.
Yeah,
anything.
I would not want one of those seats.
What were the numbers? Look up the numbers of May 15th of 2020 in Ohio. And then I want to see where we're at compared to then. I know it's out there, but you don't know if it's what you're getting is real. But you know, the thing, it goes back to situational. You know, just about like everything does. But so you know, our place, your place, whoever's place, those business models were built. And I'm just speaking, you know, as a guy, whatever. But Walmart, for example, whoever,
Kroger's,
Kroger's, those things were built on a model of supporting X amount of customers based on their market, based on who was in their target market in that area, and they were going after
they're
those
not going to
people.
have that product.
Well, they're not going to. The product at that point is the people, and the customers. And so, I mean, what I'm saying is, I mean, last night had a great night at Stockroom. You know, we were fine. You know, was it a great night? You know, well, not compared to a year ago.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the deal.
And you would be doing with where the company's grown. You'd be doing,
but if you're comparing,
40 times that.
But if you're comparing it to, you know, the numbers that you have since you've had to social distance everybody, cut the number of patrons you can have in half.
Oh, I mean,
it was a good night. I mean,
and you're sitting at a good bar. You're working a good bar. Yeah. Imagine some of these places. Man, I feel so bad for some of these places. And some of the work, you know, because the owners and the managers. Well, I mean, and
the thing I look at is a lot of entrepreneurs, unfortunately, towards the end of or middle of 2019, they're like, hey, man, I've got the capital together.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm going to start a new business, man.
And you saw
I'm going to do that. And I mean, they've put their life investment in a business.
Look at the wedding centers that opened up at the beginning of 2020.
Well, just think of it. I mean, there are so many examples you could come up with, and these people have invested their life savings,
millions
and
of
everything
dollars.
they're going to do.
Yeah,
you got millions and millions of dollars.
And they're trying to live the American dream. Who would have known? That 2019 to 2020,
you know
that's not going to be where
it's no different than when if you bought a house in 2005 and the mortgage crashed.
Well, I mean,
it's no different than
exactly
if you were going to college in 1992 and Desert Storm happened.
Yep, you're right.
It's no different than if you were, working in the trade center and, on 9/11. There's going to be curveballs thrown at you, and it's how you react. But
it is. I agree.
In this government situation that we're in right now, I personally feel like at this time. With the numbers doing what they're doing, this is just me, my thoughts, and I'm just saying I'm looking for the path of least resistance. Okay, I'm not looking to fight the system.
No,
I'm not that guy. I'm trying to raise my family, or
right.
Take care of my family, raise my child, and I'm trying to get through the day. I'm saying. I think that if they were going to shut us down, I think that we're into that situation.
Well, I think that you and I have said, not to say that we're right or wrong, but I will say this, and tell me if I'm wrong, and Tyler, you can correct me as well. I think that our take on it early on was just like, hey, look, man, let's do whatever we have to do
to get through it.
To make this end as fast as it possibly can.
And I think it's I will say my tone has changed. I thought that they had permanently damaged that industry, the bar industry.
Yeah.
I don't feel that. I think that as soon as that things can open back up,
the ones that last will do really, really well.
Yeah, once they get the vaccine and like you can see numbers start to go down.
Well, guys, I mean, I honestly feel like right now
it's going to dissipate at some point.
Well, and I feel like differently now than last April or May.
It changes all the time.
Yeah, but like I feel like right now, even though things are very ugly. Mm-hmm. I think we can kind of see.
Oh, I do.
The
we
light
have more
at the
information,
end of the
dude. We just have
we've got a
so
lot
much more.
But I just wonder, though, I don't think we're looking down a deep enough tunnel.
We might not be.
Because I was thinking about this today. it's looking like right now we're at a year away to possibly longer before guys like us can
absolutely.
Get the vaccine.
Absolutely.
You going to take the vaccine?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it enough, and I'm sure you guys have noticed. I'm a person who wants to study something before I jump in. So
I won't have a choice if I want to work.
You won't have a choice. And I think if it's a matter of if this will get things going, then hey, fire and hole, I've put worse into my body. I'll promise you.
I mean, that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, I've tested myself a few times.
Well, and I won't.
You gonna take it?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't want
Tyler
people to
just
get
got
sick.
over it, man.
Yeah,
Tyler
exactly.
just got over it, and it kicked your ass, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Just revisit the numbers from the 15th when you asked me to look that up for May.
Because we're dead ass shut down May 15th. We opened up May 21st.
So the Ohio Department of Health, May 15th, reported 26,954 confirmed cases.
26,954. So
you might as well round it up to 27,000.
27,000 in May.
As of right now, today, on their website,
7 months later,
515,991 confirmed cases.
200% more.
Yeah.
200% more.
Yeah.
Hey, Tyler, is it real?
Oh Lord.
Indeed.
Hey,
just kidding, dude. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah. And Tyler runs 3 or 4 miles.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a hoax.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure at this point.
Yeah.
Legit.
Yeah.
Massey said it kicked his ass too.
Yeah.
Seeing you got so much. I got my grandma. I want to see my grandma. I've talked to her. I call her every day. Talk to her, and both my grandmas, they're just one has pretty good health and the other is in a rougher place, and it's like I can't go around to either of them.
Well, I mean, it's a tough situation, dude. It's as a parent, it's really tough, and I got a couple kids that have. I mean, they're asking why they can't see Mama and Papa or
That's
do
such
that.
a hard thing to deal with.
And it is tough, man, because it's not like my parents don't want to see them.
Oh, yeah.
The level of patience and responsibility that is just shouldered on children right now is insane.
Oh, my. When you were a kid, did you have to have that explained to you?
Yeah, worry about hugging your grandma and grandpa.
Yeah,
Gibson hugged Dad today, and I was like, oh, man.
And that's never explained. Yeah. Like, we never had to deal with that. And I mean, I honestly, one of the tough things about it is I feel like my kids are kind of starting to get it. Like, they understand. Mm-hmm. And, like, that's kind of tough. Mm-hmm. Like, they're shouldering this.
I meant to tell you. Sorry, I just jumped ahead.
No, go right ahead.
Talked to his cousin Dave, funeral director.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, my cousin's
He's
funeral.
a good dude.
You know him?
I like him. He's
I'm the better
dude.
Gillum. Let's not let his head swell.
I like. There's another one that I like. What's his name?
Ronnie?
He's an older fella. I like Ron too. He's a good dude.
Ronnie's our older cousin.
Oh, there's one that plays guitar and goes to the VFW a lot.
Jeff. That's my Uncle Jeff.
Is he the one that drinks? That's where he goes. He drinks Bud Light Platinum.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
What world is Colby
Do you
Lykins
hang out in the VFW?
No, I worked at the liquor store. You know where?
Oh yeah.
That's where everyone's going. I used to walk into the bars and go, I think I said this the last time. You just walk in, and you go Pall Mall Reds.
Yeah.
I bet he has
You know
a shot
what
of
they
Jack
have.
right
Yeah.
in front. And then you see some people, they'll drink their Jack Daniels at their house, but they'll go out and they'll be drinking scotch at the bars.
Yeah.
Whatever it might be, vice versa.
Yeah.
I'm more of a vice versa person.
But Cousin Dave, you might want to cut this out as a clip, okay?
Okay.
So Cousin Dave is funeral director, all right? And we were talking the other day, Friday, we were talking on the phone, and he's become one of my real good buddies. We're cousins first, but at the same time, he's become a pretty good friend. And we were talking about this virus, and he goes, "Man, you know what, Pudge?" He said every body, not everybody, but every body, that he has buried this year at the funeral that had COVID, their blood has been like syrupy thick. Okay, whenever he embalms them. Okay, so he's pretty good friends with the he used to live right in the middle of an Amish community, and my dad actually hauls the Amish, and they both said the same thing. So it went through the Amish community, that COVID did, and they started taking aspirin, which thinned out their blood. So David had it. My cousin David, he was positive for it.
Yeah.
And he said what got him thinking about this. He said one of his symptoms was his legs went like not numb, but like your legs will fall asleep and it's like poor circulation. He said there was just a hint of that laying there while he was positive, and he looked it up and that was a symptom. So he started taking 2 aspirin. Now there's like acetaminophen and ibuprofen and Tylenol you're not supposed to take if you have COVID.
Right.
But aspirin will thin out the blood. And he said as soon as he did that, his leg pain went away because he was getting better blood flow to it. So then that fired me up on the old Google. So then I got to looking at all this, and zinc, vitamin D, and aspirin
And vitamin C.
and vitamin C are the ones that they're recommending for just your average person.
Yeah.
Massey
Drink
said
some airborne in your drink before you go to work every day.
airborne. What's that?
Oh,
It's like a vitamin C.
Yeah, it's like a
like
an
your packet?
immunity. I took that all the time when I was on planes,
Traveling
all the
and
time.
stuff,
Yeah. It's a booster, like a vitamin
that's-
C immune booster.
I told you whenever I started taking a bunch of supplements, it fouled me up. That's what sent me into depression.
It'll do it
Yeah,
to you.
I-
You throw too much of something, anything.
I got in a big health kick here. Was last year. Right now, this time last year, I was dark.
Oh yeah,
I was in a bad spot, and I kind of just through my own study, I noticed I was taking like a B12. I was taking their super B something.
It's like one of the supplement packs.
No, I just did it all myself like an idiot.
Okay.
And St. John's wort.
Oh yeah.
And I think I just threw too much. St. John's wort promotes ginseng. I was taking ginseng.
Yeah.
And the St. John's wort's supposed to promote like positive mental health.
Sure.
Because my wife kept telling me I was an asshole.
Oh, okay.
So I was like,
St. John Ward ain't gonna fix that.
yeah. So I realized it. Well, but I thought, well, what's this thing doing if it's going to promote a positive mood? It has to do something with your cerebrum.
It's throwing something off.
And then, but it sent me the other way. And so I'm kind of leery about taking those vitamin C.
Yeah. No,
Now I'd love to eat an orange.
Yeah. Amen.
I don't know that I'm against taking those. I mean, I've actually I've been fighting myself on this. Like maybe going to. I used to always take vitamin C. And I never vitamin D or zinc. I wasn't into that, but lately I'm thinking, what would it hurt?
Well, be careful. That's all I can tell you.
I have every day for about the past 2 years.
What?
Fish oil, vitamin C, vitamin D3, and glucosamine for joints.
You know what? Fish oil gave me the gout.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which fish oil did?
Yeah, it's omega 3s.
Yeah.
500 milligrams of vitamin C, 5,000 IUs of vitamin D3, and then 1,000 milligrams.
Can you tell if you don't take it?
Not really.
Is your piss like the color of that wall?
Mm-mm. Well, I drink a gallon of water a day too.
Yeah.
So, no.
Yeah. Tyler told us that he was really, you were very glad, and so was Massey, that you were in shape fighting this virus.
Yes. Without any underlying health conditions.
I'm a goner. I'm a fucking goner.
I might be too. But you don't know. I mean, you don't know if you have a lung issue. You don't know that.
If you're not, I don't go to the doctor as much as I'd like to.
When's the last time you ran a mile and pushed it? and tried to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you could have one and not know.
Yeah.
We were talking. There was another guy that he was telling me what great shape he was in, and he's the same guy that I've watched. He came in the bar and he couldn't make it from the parking lot to the stool without being out of breath. And hey man, what's been going on? Oh, just left the doctor. He said I was good to go, and I thought, shit, he lied to you.
Who's that doctor? I need to go to him.
Yeah, I thought, shit, maybe he ain't seeing what I'm seeing, but hell, you're out of breath.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to talk about, boys? Colby's going to be back with us. Can we let the people know what?
Can we let the cat out of the bag?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
He is Colby is joining the Chubby Bartender family.
He is. Yes, I'm excited.
I'm going to
about
be the
this.
little brother.
He talks about
He's a chublet.
He talks about all the projects that he takes on, and he doesn't know whether he's going to have time to do it or not. But we are very privileged to say that this is a project that he's going to take on with us.
Yes.
And a lot of people have asked us a lot of questions like, hey guys, when is your merch coming out? When is we want to buy some shirts, we want to buy some hats, we want to buy some stuff.
Yeah. And Colby is now going to be the man that heads up that operation.
The stuff guy.
Welcome
I'm
to the
excited.
team, my
I'm
friend.
excited.
Yes, welcome to the team. We're happy
so
to have
excited.
you.
Oh my God, dude.
We're excited to be a
We're
part of
so
it.
excited.
And then Jeff is going to be handling some of our accounts. So you and Jeff have joined up. That's going to be pretty cool.
Oh man, me and Jeff are good buddies.
My Lord, we're going to I tell you what, the first thing we're going to
power
sell is
team.
beard nets.
well, I'll tell you what
Hopefully
we
I can
need.
get this damn thing shaved off here
No,
soon.
leave
I
it.
want
Jeff's going clean cut January.
Is he really?
Yeah,
Well,
that's what
I'll
he
tell you.
said.
Well, here's what I'm kind of excited about. Okay, is like maybe there'll be an event here at some point or whatever.
We hope.
the next few years.
Where like we've got some talent behind the
Oh,
bar.
there's 5 of us now.
I mean, we've got us 2 phony
Yeah,
bartenders.
and then 2 real ones.
We got real ones now. Now we got
It's
real guys.
And we're retired. These hands don't make drinks. I didn't even pour my own whiskey here.
Well, listen.
Last time Pudge was just pouring it in there for me too.
Well, here's the thing, guys. I mean, this is an organic business, and nobody that comes on and joins the Chubby Bartenders is an employee. They're a contributor.
Yeah, they're a teammate.
And, they're just a contributor to the cause. And Colby,
Welcome.
you made my day, dude.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to be a part of it.
We're excited about that, and
Now, I just thought
more
of something.
fun stuff to come.
We've got the skinniest guy in Jackson selling Chubby Bartender.
That's all
apparel.
right. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of our listeners are skinny.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, you know,
yeah.
I'm probably the fattest Chubby Bartender listener.
Well, it was Massey.
Well, it was Massey, and you, and now all you sons of bitches went and lost all that weight.
Hey, I'll tell you another success story. I like to spread the good news. You know something, man? I am still losing weight.
That's good
really?
news.
Man, I went
What are
out,
you down to?
I went out last night, and I ate like a pig.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Roosters. I didn't go. We ordered takeout while Mindy was shopping. And I had 10 wings and 2 orders of fries. But
Fries?
curly fries. They were delicious too. And I
bet
loved
they
them.
were. I bet
And I had the traditional
the wings are better.
Yeah.
I mean,
What
I
kind
love
of, what
those.
kind of
wings-
wing, sauce did you go with?
I'm a plain guy.
Oh, plain. You just go plain.
no sauce on
Plain.
the side.
No
just-
sauce on
just
the
as
side.
it is.
Just as it is. yeah.
feel
But
I eat some that way. That's usually why I get my sauce on the side, so that way I can eat some.
I do too, but I never have been that guy. And I'm a guy whenever I'm weird. I've been told, like, let's say you sit down at grandma's Sunday dinner, and you got a roast and green beans and mashed potatoes and corn. Well, I don't mix it. I eat one thing at a time. Like
That's how my
Yeah,
dad
it is
is.
weird.
My dad's
It's
the
weird.
same
that's
way.
what everybody tells me. I didn't realize I was weird.
See, I
weird.
just throw it all together. Make
Yeah, see, I-
KFC famous
Yeah,
bowl
me
in the
too,
middle.
me
Yeah.
too.
I eat one thing at a time. Then
Yeah,
I
like
just kinda move it.
KFC came out with those bowls. I'm like, shit. I've been eating.
I've been
like
doing
that
this
for
forever.
years. Yeah.
See, for me, it's like Thanksgiving. You put down a layer of mashed potatoes, and then you build on top of that.
Oh yeah,
Corn
absolutely.
on top.
That would drive me insane.
Gravy all
Well, and
over
then
everything.
like that last piece of turkey or whatever. I always save like one bite of
Just
turkey
to sop it.
to rub through. Okay, like gravy, a little bit of cranberry sauce, some stuffing. Like you get all of it on that last bite. You get like that total flavor of Thanksgiving. I mean, that's what's beautiful.
But it's the intermittent fasting.
I was going to say that your only time eating.
That's I'm still doing the fasting, and so I woke up 2 pounds lighter today. I was 219. I was 221.
The big.
Now, I've not heard you eating a lot of curly fries.
He'll eat whatever he wants.
It depends.
Okay.
You'll eat pizza.
I'll eat pizza.
Yeah.
Well, 2 nights ago. Allie's.
Yeah. So I mean,
I like it.
We had pizza in here last week.
I had pizza today.
Yeah, but that's the only time I'm.
Boy, one of these days, my neurons are going to fire, and I'm going to go. But that ain't today.
The big F word, flexibility.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like, and I woke up this morning thinking, man, I have really overdone it yesterday. I'm gonna have to.
And you step on there, you'd lost it.
I was like, holy.
Well,
shit.
you know what I think the difference is. Your body's working for you now.
Maybe.
You flip the switch.
I flipped the switch. I own you.
You're also on the same page as your body
Yeah.
whenever you're trying to better your health in that way, because your body wants that. It's not like your mind is what tells you. Now I'm cool with the habits that we got going on, but it's whenever you're moving with your body parallel, there's going to be more results for sure.
Yeah. It's working out good, and I've cheated a little bit. I mean, I might have an apple or an orange through the day, and some water. I mean,
something to pass by.
Just something to get me. But I'll tell you what, last night at 8:30, I hadn't ate since the night before, and I told Mindy, I said, I don't give a damn what you have to do next. We're eating. I said, I've got to eat. I mean, and I've never been like that.
And did you just let her shop and you just sat in the car and ate?
Well, I ain't that fat. I mean,
well, then what'd you do?
There's a trial and tribulations of obesity.
You guys all ate together.
I wasn't like a.
Well, you said you didn't go inside.
That's me when I eat. I just. You put food. I discuss people. I think most of the time, just because I get food in front of me. I'm like, I gotta eat, man. No. When I would work at the bar, people come up and I go on my little 2-minute food break, and I'd just sit there and I'd be like, "Do you care if I sit beside you?" And I'd sit down. They'd think they're getting a conversation out of it. They just hear me chomping on food.
Whenever we were in sales, dude, I'm like one of the fastest eaters.
Oh yeah, me too. Everybody's like, "Hey man, you're like a shark. Your eyes disappear."
Oh, I just drop my head. I don't raise my head or breathe until it's over.
You're just focused.
Yeah.
You're just good at what you do.
Buddhism.
yeah. Hey, listen, man. There's that's the thing. The thing is, like, when you're good at something,
just
execute.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's it. How long are we, Tyler?
Just over 2.
Just over 2.
So hey, man, throw some suggestions of what kind of merch you'd like to see with our
comment
logo
on our stuff,
it.
and I'll tell you something else. Hit the subscribe button,
please.
If you hit the subscribe button, for those that don't know, then every time we have a new clip, it just sends you a notification if you allow it,
which is nice.
It really is nice, and
to know if you're interested in seeing something, you can keep up with it.
Because what I think people don't understand, like even YouTube and some of those things, they will, if you're not a subscriber, then they will bury.
We're
it.
buried.
Yeah, and but if you're a subscriber, then every time it has a feed just like Facebook.
Trust me, every day now.
Listen, if you like us, just do it.
That's not hard.
I mean, as a favor,
it's
for
a thumb.
us. As a favor to us, even if you hate what we're saying, just like and subscribe.
You can just. How many text messages do you hit ignore to?
If
you don't want to see it, don't watch it. Watch it later. It is what it is.
Right.
Yeah,
just hit it, man.
We are tracking good on our subscribers, though. We're tracking.
Yeah, and we appreciate that.
Thank all of you. And I don't know if this will be one of the last ones to air.
Maybe before Christmas. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe
one more. Maybe 2 more. Anyway, hey, Merry Christmas,
you guys.
Merry Christmas.
All right. Hey.
We love you
Colby Lykins.
all.
See ya.
Thank you.